Definitely all starts with a thought and then taking action on that thought. But yeah, I landed my first double backflip at an event that we made the jump for in Auckland, an event called Roller Coaster, and managed to double flip that really easy. So straight away I was like, oh mate, we can build a bigger jump and do 3 flips.
Yeah.
And so that was when I started. That was when I came up with the idea, and then that was the first point of action. It was after the triple flip I started getting paid from them. So
Yes,
I was like, oh, I'm a professional now. The first time I wanted to go traveling, I went to my boss and I said to him, oh, I've got to quit. I'm going to Aussie in 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, how long are you going for? I was like, I'm just going for 2 weeks. And he was like, well, why are you quitting? And I was like, oh, because I really want to do it, but I didn't think I could have my job back. And he's like, so tell me, what's this BMX you're going for? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to compete in this comp and this comp. And he goes, and so that's what you like to do, is it? I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's my passion. It's my life. And he's like, oh, what? And you don't want a job when you come back? And I'm like, well, yeah. He goes, just come back and see me if you want a job.
All of a sudden you're getting paid to ride a motorbike, and that was like, that was like the goal. That was like a dream, that you're getting paid to go every weekend and just ride for like 20 minutes a weekend and get the same amount as like working all week. Like I said, it became obvious at one point, like you needed to be doing backflips, or else you're going to get left behind. And there was people around the world with foam pits, but they kept them very,
Yeah. How did you learn them?
Oh, I learned them straight to do it. Yeah. Trial
hay
and
bales?
error. Yeah, we just
Kiwi ingenuity.
ate it. Yeah, we just ate it, man. Yeah, I mean the shows were already a thing in Franklin Farm. So Jed named it Franklin Farm.
Yep.
That's where we were training, and then it was just like, bring the farm to the city sort of thing, and show everyone what you're doing out there in a show environment.
So you were getting paid per flips on the show.
So
like if you were a flipper on a dirt bike, it was like it was probably over 10K for a one
remember
backflip.
hearing that, like Nate Adams, so you had the super kick.
And Nick
flip,
was in the top first 5 people in the world.
the long flip, the 75-foot flip. I remember hearing he was getting like 20 US to go over to the state, over to like Europe and do that per night or per show.
Whoa,
20,000, which would be like 30 New Zealand.
Yeah. That's a question I'd had for a bit, because I know if you're going to go overseas with your BMX, you just put it into a bag and take it. How do you do it with a motorbike?
Oh, so you have to get a bike. So that's like part of it can be dodgy, because you get a bike over there.
Yeah, so it's not like I want my bike.
So I ride KTMs, so they source your bike over there, and that generally was like the bikes we rode the year before, so it had a few more hours on them, but still good bikes.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes you'll turn up overseas and that the bike they've got, not so, more back in the day, there's like a flogged out bike, and you're like, and so you bring your suspension, you bring any parts that you've got, made personally for you, like your suspension, your harder suspension, or your lowered seat or your handlebars. Yeah. So you bring those, which is already like a hassle, because towards the end of my career, flying off suspension was like, you'd get like all the time.
That's more than 200 miles in there.
We did a show in Bolivia.
Yeah.
At the time, so Bolivia is like the poorest country in South America, but it's amazing. Yeah. It's like crazy high altitude, like I think 2,000 or 3,000 meters high. It's like maybe the highest city. I'm not sure on that, but beautiful place. And we couldn't get 2-stroke motocross bikes, 2-stroke 250s, so we had to ride 4-stroke 250s, which is like way down on power. And it's like every 1,000 meters of altitude you go up, you lose 10% of your horsepower. Yeah. So you're riding this bike that's already got like 20% less horsepower, and you're riding it like 3,000 meters, so it's down like another 30% lower in the horsepower, and it's just, but still amazing trip. But the riding part of it was scary as hell.
All right, welcome to Shed Life. We've got an excellent episode today. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's our first 4-way episode, so we've got a double host situation and a double guest situation. In terms of the guests, we have got Jed Mildon, first ever human to triple backflip and then quadruple backflip a BMX. Mark talked about him on his podcast, and now he's got him on the podcast. And then we've got Nick Franklin here, won the X-Air in New Zealand, freestyle motocross legend, Franklin Farms, just awesome. And our man, brother, Mark Davis. So, Mark, welcome aboard. Jed, reach over our black dog leaners. I won't do much talking. I'm going to hand it over to Mark, and I'm just going to be enjoying some stories as well.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's awesome to be here with Jed and Nick. Jed I've known for a long time, since we were probably around sort of 17, 18.
2 decades.
Yeah, 2 decades of riding bikes, having fun, riding contests you've put on and doing all that good stuff. And then Nick, I've heard the name floated around for years, FMX rider, but haven't met you before. So looking forward to sort of hearing a bit more about your history and your backstory, about how you come to be, had a giant foam pit in your Tokoroa farm and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, that's the one.
So I think maybe we'll just start it with the triple backflip, get that underway first. Straight into it.
Sweet, I like it.
How did that come about? You know, like, where did that idea come from? Like, I remember watching Jay Mirren do a double backflip back in the day, and then Dave Mirra first in contest to do the double. Did you see that and you got excited to do it, or how did the dream hatch?
Definitely all starts with a thought and then taking action on that thought. But yeah, I landed my first double backflip at an event that we made the jump for in Auckland, an event called Roller Coaster, and managed to double flip that really easy. So straight away I was like, oh mate, we can build a bigger jump and do 3 flips.
Yeah.
And so that was when I started. That was when I come up with the idea, and then that was the first point of action. But nothing really, I kind of, just carry on. And then I guess it was when Nick and I got flown down to Farm Jam together that the conversation was actually ignited, like I spoke to him and he's like, oh, you can use my foam pit. I'm like, oh, sweet, we're heading in the right direction. Not really holding on to the idea too much, but it's just a nice goal. And then met the right people at Farm Jam that were like, yeah, we can help you do that, which was Unit Clothing.
Yes, because Unit was big into it at that stage, eh?
Yeah, and then 2 weeks after that, we had a roll-in at the farm practicing it. 3 months after that, 4 months after that, I landed it.
And were you already sponsored by Unit at that stage, or did they just come on board with you for that idea?
They were sponsoring all the jams I was running.
Yeah,
They were that's how they got into the scene, that's what they like to do, action sports.
Yep.
So they looked after me that way. Always got product for them, but it was after the triple flip I started getting paid from them. So
sick.
I was like, oh, I'm a professional now. Cool.
Yeah. So that takes you to the Franklin farm into your foam pit, Nick. So how long had you had your foam pit set up there for?
At that stage, it was maybe just under 10 years, just under a decade.
Yeah, right. So you'd had a foam pit from sort of the get-go for yourself.
Yeah, well, I'd, freestyle motocross, it came clear pretty early after Kerry Hart landed a backflip. Yep. Then a few other dudes started like doing it. First it was like, oh, it's going to be a one-off, and then it started getting landed like on a more regular basis. And Mike Metzger started, hitting a ramp and backflipping, was like, man, you need to do this, otherwise you might as well just go get a day job.
Yeah.
And so that was like, that was sort of the next step. No, actually breaking my leg was the next step.
Nice.
And then I was in Austria at the with Red Bull at the facility they have over there to sort of help get better again, and I just sort of planted the idea with the Red Bull guys over there, and that's how it eventuated.
Yes.
Came up with like the Kiwi ingenuity idea of like, all right, let's dig into a hill, because I saw silage stacks.
Yeah,
that's how they were done. So I was like, oh, that's way cheaper than like building a full 4-sided big container to hold the foam.
Yeah, I'd often wondered that. I'd seen it and see silage stacks around. I was like,
I drove past them and it would just be like, like you take the silage out and put foam in, that's a foam pit.
Yeah, and all you got to do is build one wall at the front of it, and you're away laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. All right, so then you obviously no motor on your bike. How do you get the speed to roll into this?
Gravity.
Real
gravity fed.
Yeah, beautiful.
Or pedal my ass off.
Yeah, that's it, Toad.
No, but it seems to be the way with BMX, especially freestyle BMX.
Yeah.
And like you see in the big park competitions now, it's about the guys trying to land smoothly and hold their momentum. Like less pedals the better.
Yeah. So you built a big roll on. How did that go? What did you do?
Oh, so the one we had at the farm was 12 meters, and then I dug a hole into the ground, probably 2 meter hole, with Nick's Bobcat. Yeah, nice. First time learning to use a Bobcat, which was fun. And then I think we maybe put a meter on top, so we probably got to like 14 meters at the farm.
Yeah.
But then I only managed to get one around in the foam pit, and then it was like 5 weeks in, and they kind of wanted their scaffold back, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, but I'd learnt it, so I knew I could do it. And then I went back to work, and I was back at work for like a month, and then I got wind that Nitro were going to do it live in Vegas. So I was like, oh, this is my time. I've got to go. And then 2 weeks later, we did it
Yes.
in Spa Park, but I made the roll-on about 6 meters taller.
Yeah, that was a
So
monster.
It was 20 meters tall.
Yeah, so all scaffolding, just built up,
dug into the ground.
Yeah. And how did you work out the takeoff?
Trial and error.
Just trial and error. Because you'd been doing a lot of lake jumping, before this. That was your foam pit before foam pit?
I could double backflip into water before I'd even done a single backflip on land. So my muscle memories were pretty dulled in that sense.
Yeah, so you just went that quarter pipe and went bigger.
Well, it was just always finding the right opportunity and the right scenario. Like we had jumps, but there was no point us going to send them on it. Because you probably get hurt.
Yeah.
Because that's where, the human self-preservation kicks in. Like, we're not silly.
Yeah.
We're pretty, I'd like to think we're pretty calculated athletes.
Yeah.
And it's not like we weren't holding on to building those jumps. It was, they'd just always kind of flow state into our lap, like the roller coaster event, and the opportunity to build a mega ramp. I'm like, well, I'm going to build a mega box. And then we built this box, and that worked, and then it was just scaling up from there. And I think in the end we used Nick's super kicker.
Right.
An actual super kicker, extended 2 foot.
Holy man.
We're hitting it 70 k's an hour. It was a 45-foot gap and a 13-foot step up.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's insane, the footage of what you did on that thing.
It's probably still the gnarliest jump in BMX, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then the quad jumps. Yeah, crazy as well. But
crazy, but did not look as crazy as that, to that scaffolded back landing with the big deck on it and everything. It was
the quad was in proportion.
Yeah.
It was like so high, but the triple was up.
Big step up.
I always see it now, and I'm like, what were you thinking? Like, how did you get in that state? Like, to be in that position, that's crazy.
How old were you for the triple?
24.
Yeah, 2011.
And it will be in 3 days. It would have been 16 years.
Right, kid.
Yeah, so it's coming on 16 years.
Changed
my life forever.
Yeah.
I was already traveling lots by then, but then that just opened up all the doors.
Yeah, that's it. It was the thing to put yourself, like we were sort of talking about this earlier, came up in the age of magazines and everything, so it was like you had to somehow make a name for yourself. You couldn't just go and self-promote yourself like you could now, put up videos and do it. You had to. And how did that idea come that you needed to do something so big to put yourself on that world stage?
So I'd been traveling America to 3 years before that.
Yeah.
And then never making the competitions.
Yeah.
But so there's a thing called Open Qualifier. There's 50 riders and there's 12 spots available. And they jump in with the 18 riders that pre-qualified the year before. So it makes a 30-rider circuit.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to crack onto that. And it was actually Dane Seals.
Yeah.
Him and I, we actually done these mean runs, and we're watching the footage afterwards, and we're like, we fully beat them.
Yeah.
Like, we should have qualified. That's not cool. And then Dane's like, they just don't know who we are, bro. I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to make them know you? And he's like, I'm going to jump jumps twice as big as these guys. And then we pretty much were about a month apart on our projects being completed. And then he's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to do a triple flip. And I hadn't even done a double flip.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do a triple flip.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, far out, we didn't pay for anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It was just red carpet everywhere.
Yeah.
But which was phenomenal. And then I got to meet everyone properly, It's like, you're here. I've been here the last 3 years, but hi.
You've noticed
which I'm totally cool with, It's not their fault, but it's nice to make yourself known.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a social status thing. Like socially you're there, but you don't have any status in those circles, and then you do something to give yourself a bit of status, and then it's like, oh, that's who you are.
Yeah. But as you say, there was a bunch of other dudes that were like right on it, just as good as you guys, also trying to make it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people wanting that extra bit of people knowing who you were, but doing something that big. And like Dane Seals, those jumps were just insane how big they were.
And that's the difference. Like BMX has been going for like 35 years.
Yeah.
and we just so happened to luckily be enough the ones in the position to make the jumps bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like anyone could have done it, but it was us. Like it was quite neat. Like but we had reasons to do it. It wasn't like let's just make this massive jump. It was actually we need the jump to be much bigger to get more flips.
Yeah, and to put it out there to catapult yourself into it.
Yeah.
So you're in Taupō on top of a 20-meter roll-in.
Yeah.
Ready to go. John Bull boots on.
Yeah.
And what was it? The rumor was that you had to. That was part of getting the world record, the Guinness Book of Record. Was that you had to have steel cap boots on? Is that true?
No, I did shows like 2 weeks before up in Auckland, and I front flipped a little box jump and I under rotated.
Yeah.
And my heels came off and they just went crack on the ground. And so there's a thing called flat heel.
Yeah.
Remember flat heel? Where you just bruise your heels so much you can barely walk on your with your normal shoes on.
Yeah.
And the only time I could walk properly was in work boots. Like it took the the cushioning took the pain away. So I bought John Bull's.
Yeah, nice.
John Bull shoes. I didn't want John Bull work boots, but I was like, oh, cheer, they've got actual like skate shoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it was in a pair of like the Chucks ones.
The Chuck ones. Yeah.
So,
But they were the only shoes I could wear without my feet being in agony.
Yeah, right. Oh, it makes it even gnarlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. So you're in there, up on it, and so Unit had helped sponsor building the initial roll-in, and then they helped sponsor the actual day where you did it at Spa Park.
Yeah, they were the main sponsor.
Yeah, right. And the council come on board. You've always had
phenomenally came on board. Yeah. I worked with a man named Keith Craig.
Yeah,
he's passed away now, but when he was in council, we pretty much could do anything. He had a QSM to his name.
Oh, yeah,
which
nice.
is the Queen's Service Emira, and that was for his devotion to cycling in the area. And then when we met, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I love this stuff!" Like, never met Freestyle before. He's used to roadies and mountain bikers and whatnot. And then he meets these Freestyle kids, and he was just in awe. And then anything we wanted to do, any idea we had, he found funding. All the Jedi jams, everything. And it was just, he's just like, whatever you want to do, I've got it.
Yes,
I'll do all your paperwork. Don't worry about it. What do you want to do? Was that the trouble? I was like, I'm going to dig a hole here and put the takeoff in there, and then sweet. And they turn up a few days later and like, that's not a hole. You've dug the whole bank away. I'm like, no, I said I was going to dig a hole. They're like, but we're going to need fences and everything. I'm like, Keith, can you help us, please? So I always had I was lucky to have a good relationship with the Taupō Council, like growing up there.
Yeah.
So it's a quite small community. So,
Awesome, they backed you.
McDonald's actually bought the Guinness, paid for the Guinness.
Really?
Yeah.
So
the local McDonald's.
Yeah, they were got on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you probably people think, you just put your hand up, I'm going to do a Guinness Record book records, but it's actually quite a thing to have that they've got to come out. Do they send somebody out? Or?
No, you can just prove it.
Yeah,
Send an adjudicator out. There's a few $1,000s more.
Yeah, I bet. Well, even more if they're sending it from outside of the world.
I think you might just be able to get a the Justice of Peace, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Justice of Peace, Judas Peace.
No,
JP.
Yeah, Justice of the Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just ask 2 questions. One was, so did you get wind that someone at Nitro Circus was going to attempt the triple backflip?
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, so you just had to push it forward and get it done.
Yeah. Stopped my job, went straight to work.
Yeah. Awesome.
Found the location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat him by 4 days.
Well, okay.
And then I'm not sure he actually landed that one though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it obviously took the wind out of his sails a bit because you had gone and done it.
But I'd worked so hard, and then I got that news. I'm like, all right, I've already worked way too hard. This is it. Now or never. Yeah. But otherwise, I'd gone back to work and just carried on with work. Had no real intention of a date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the guys, and that was the incentive I needed to go.
Yeah, to push
Come on, get your kick in the ass, get out there, and see it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's interesting that it's sometimes internal motivation, but it's really an external motivator.
Always.
Force it to do it.
Always.
What I was wondering is if we could just take it back to the beginning a bit more with you guys. Is Nick, tell us how you got into freestyle motocross, how you ended up with a foam pit and you'd already had a foam pit for 10 years by the time that Jed wants to use it, Give us a bit of a background, about how you got into it and how you ended up riding it. Yeah, XR, all of it. Yeah, all of it's probably a lot, but 2
hours later. So we grew up on a farm in Tokoroa from 5 years old, and all my buddies had DS80s and stuff, and my parents had 20% mortgage, so there was no motorbikes for a long time, and eventually they got motorbikes and started racing motocross. And was
the dairy farm?
So
or
we're
sheep
down
and beef?
We did not have dairy, but the rest of the road is.
Oh yeah,
it's in the Matarawa Valley, and I think it used to be deemed too steep for dairy, but now it's the whole road is dairy. But still, so my parents still have the farm, and they dairy farmers lease the farm out now. But started racing, and then sort of got to the point where it's I'm probably not gonna be world champion. Gonna kind of have to taper off. And just at that exact time was when freestyle motocross came about, so it was kind of, I was at the age I would have been 19 or 20 and didn't really have anything else going on, so just started pushing for that, and that was fun, and ended up going down that path. And then XR here in Hamilton, and I was lucky, sort of won that 1 year, and then things just take off once you start to get a little bit of a name. And shout out Luke Price, he got us some shows for the monster truck circuit, and so I was working out at Kinleith, and man, as soon as we got you got paid to go and ride your motorbike, because the whole motocross days were your parents paying for you. So I was obviously very lucky that my parents were in a position by that time to do that. But then all of a sudden you're getting paid to ride a motorbike, and that was that was the goal. That was a dream, that you're getting paid to go every weekend and just ride for 20 minutes a weekend and get the same amount as working all week. And just grew from there. And like I said, it became obvious at one point you needed to be doing backflips, or else you're going to get left behind. And there was people around the world with foam pits, but they kept them very
How did you learn them?
Oh, I learned them straight to do it. Trial
hay
and
bales?
error. We just
Kiwi ingenuity.
ate it. We just ate it, man, for a long time. And
ate it, and you were trying to do them on a small jump to start with, or you were just pretty still just
pushed
same
in probably.
size?
So we had this idea. Me and my buddy Luke were we'll just dig a hole in the ground, take all that dirt out as the landing, and then dump a ramp in that hole in a big trench.
Yeah.
And that's what we did, and we had no idea at the time can you even backflip this? Now you could double backflip that setup, but definitely did not have now when we're teaching kids like on a dirt bike, you like learn on a BMX first because it's all the same other than the throttle control. But back then it was just like young and dumb and just like, BMX ain't my thing. So just went to crashing a dirt bike until finally they came around like 10 degrees at a time sort of thing.
Holy.
Yeah. And then, came back to it and did them again and then broke my leg. And that's, when after that it was like, you need a foam pit.
Yeah.
And, lucky I was sponsored by Red Bull for a lot of my career. So got to go over to Red Bull X Fighters and podium there like in 2002 or 3 or so. And, once you sort of have a name, you get invited back and all sorts of places around the world from there on.
Yeah, and is that the one you did body varial?
Oh, that was years later.
Right.
Yeah.
And was that sort of your signature trick, or are there a few dudes doing that?
Nah, I didn't even invent that. It was just I just kind of got onto it early, but it was scared the living bejesus out of me.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary trick, and you don't see them much. Like, you don't really see them at all in BMX. No. You see them occasionally. But I'd seen a clip of you doing it the other day, and I was
Yeah, they're pretty scary to learn because, like, even into a foam pit, like you're traveling, if you're hitting the 75 foot, you're probably hitting that foam at like 50 kilometers an hour, and you stop pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're not connected to the bike, then you're hitting a piece of metal at 50 kilometers an hour. So so it's like scary because you need to grab back and get back on. Whereas like a flip or something, you're with the bike the whole way. You're tight on
yeah.
the bike. Not to say you can't get hurt, but
yeah, it's more controlled.
yeah, you're going in as one,
Yeah,
as opposed to sort of like if you lose a bike on a body varial. So just kind of scary to learn.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Can you just give me, when did you first start doing the freestyle motocross? Was this like early 90s, mid 90s? And like, where did it begin from? Because it's just, just where did it begin from that then you're ending up in the XCs and X Fighters and this sort of stuff in the early 2000s? Is just,
I mean, I think freestyle.
like, how does a boy from Tokoroa end up
Yeah.
traveling the world
I'm
sponsored
still
by
asking that
Red Bull?
question myself. It's it sort of started out in the dunes in America. Those dudes were doing it in about the mid late 90s, and then it sort of started catching on, and then ramps were built, metal ramps, so that it was the same. The jump that was the same every time, and for us, me and like a few friends, Luke Price and Peter Broxon, we just used to, when we were riding, doing training for motocross, you'd just do a few. You'd learn like a can because you saw someone doing it in a magazine because the internet didn't exist, and just one thing after another, and eventually, we had X-Air here in Hamilton, which was like, without that, like I never would have. There was that was like the path, that created a path to go down, and basically been good enough to get into that. I think I did it 1 year and finished 6th, and then the next year, won it, and it just opens doors.
And was that the first year in 2000s you read it for the first time?
So I think in 2001 would have been my first
that was
year
first
I rode
moto.
it.
Yeah, so that was the second year of it.
2000 was the Tavern, the Hill
Oh,
Crest.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. So I didn't go to that one. I think I went to the next two.
In Claudelands.
Yeah, in Claudelands. I don't even know. Just remember getting in a car at like 13 with some older like 18-year-old BMXers and coming down, and it was just all a blur. I just knew I was in Hamilton, and that was about it.
It was the place to be.
Yeah,
Because there was
it.
free Red Bull, so we like little kids drinking Red Bull.
Well, I went down with all like Kevin and Luke Guilfoyle and all them, and they were riding in it, and I just thought I was going to be able to get there and be like, can I ride? Where I got to the gate on the first day, and they let everybody in. They're like, you're not allowed in. And I was like, oh, that dude's got my keys to the hotel, and then went in and just didn't come back out. So it was sweet. But so then the second year you'd have ridden in it. And then did you ride it in Wellington as well?
Yeah, down in Wellington too. But just thanks to that, to having that as a platform to start from.
Yeah.
And then just got overseas with that. Used to go to Australia a lot, and then eventually got to Europe, and then sort of did pretty good over there. And then it's just continues, and you get invited more, and you go from paying to go to Australia to do comps to getting paid to go to Europe and whatnot, which is like the dream as a, I don't know, would have been a young 20s at that stage, and it just takes off.
Yeah. It seems like a cool scene. I love how I've had a lot of boxers or other like league players are saying, but it's competitive, but you can still get ahead with it, you don't have to win every fight, you don't have to win every comp to get allowed into the next comp, like it just seems to be more collegial or something almost, is that, hey, if you got to get to the comps first, then once you've got into that, and then you're invited back to the comps. I don't know, just seems cool. And it was, when did all the support start coming in? Because it was the hottest ticket in town, like 90s, early 2000s. The names escape me, but we watched it all the time, like the MTV Worlds and like those shows that they're putting on, those Bam Bams, skating, BMX, motocross, all of that sort of stuff was so hot at that time. And so that sort of money was flowing into the sport, I suppose. Red Bull, Cheapskates, like all these sort of brands are just...
Yeah, when a sport's new like that, it sort of just goes to crazy heights.
Yeah.
And then they tend to, after some years, sort of come down to their natural kind of viewership or something. But to start with, so many sponsors just want in because it's the latest ticket, right? The hot ticket at the time. So it was primo time to be involved with it. Like I wasn't there from the very start, but like pretty early on, and when the bar's still somewhat low.
Yeah. And then you got on Red Bull pretty early on, which has sort of covered everything.
For sure. It's just like, it just gives you like credibility, I guess, kind of what you're, a little bit what you're saying, that you just can, these places are like, well, if you're good enough for that, then we want you here kind of thing. And opened all kinds of doors. I ended up doing a lot of, later on in my career, after a few injuries and not like sort of shooting for the top anymore, just got to do a lot of activations around the world with Red Bull. So just going to all kinds of countries I'd never even heard of, like Georgia and things like this. Just going all around the world, getting to kind of be the people to introduce freestyle into that country or into that scene, which was pretty rad.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so with an activate, so you'd go there as like an established name, and then they'd have some more of the local guys would be going and do the tricks and putting on a show, or you'd just be there.
In a lot of situations, like no one had ever even seen it before. Like you just do a straight jump, and people just like, it was pretty rad, right? Because you didn't have to be doing the latest trick to get a reaction. Like if you go somewhere else, it's kind of like, but why aren't you doing a double flip sort of thing? Like, but you just do a straight jump and people will just be like losing their minds about it. We did all kinds of cool things. Like we jumped over the horse of Troy. It's in a town called Konakiril in Turkey now. Yeah, and had like 100,000 people turn up to that activation, and just all kinds of real interesting.
You jumped the horse of Troy.
Jumped the horse of Troy, yeah. I mean, it's not the original one, obviously. It's a rebuilt one. But just cool stuff like that, and getting to go to like, I think I was counting and I've sort of forgotten. I think it's like between 70, 80 countries got to go and ride. And which is just such an eye-opener seeing, because when you grow up in little old New Zealand, you think everything here is normal. It's not until you sort of traveled, you see like, oh, that's just our normal. Like every country's got its own norm, and getting to experience that's pretty rad.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, very cool being able to extend your career by not having to just be on the top, be able to go around and do those things, still be involved.
100%, yeah.
Show life's good life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I bet.
It
Yeah.
is, and it's like, the thing, obviously in motocross, the show life's been around longer, but then with Nitro Circus, bringing in the BMX skate and stuff to the show life, it is really cool seeing how much more show life there is for guys to make a bit of a career out of, rather than just being... Like, I remember growing up being like, I want to be sponsored, and like you'd done the same thing, want to be sponsored, what do you got to do? Go to America and get on it. And now I'll listen to podcasts on like the top American BMXers, and it was so hard for them to make a living. It was like, it was almost impossible for a Kiwi to actually go and break into that world of doing it, where like for you doing the triple and then having shows to be able to do.
Bridge the gap between those worlds, eh?
Yeah, completely. Because otherwise it's such a small amount of people got to actually do it. And being from little old New Zealand, almost impossible to do. But with shows,
with the shows, it definitely gives me credibility when introducing me. Yeah. So you're like, oh, you're that person. This is that person.
Yeah.
And then gives you longevity as well, because it's like doing it onto big airbags. And you get to practice and do it all the time, where it's just like, it just cements your name. And
by the time when I did a quad, I hadn't even done another triple yet before. So,
because you pretty much did the triple one, and you were just like, I did it to crack it, but you weren't
straight away after the double, I'm like, oh man, I can do 4 flips.
Yeah, straight after the triple.
Straight away, I'm like, I can do 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 4. And then we had 6 months off 4 years later on Nitro. So I was like, I'm going to do it with these 6 months.
Yeah. But you'd never done a triple in between?
No.
No, just not interested in it?
No. I never had the opportunity, and it wasn't my job in the show. So
there
was no need for me to do it.
So how did it come about that you got onto Nitro Circus?
They wanted Kiwis in 2013, and I was that Kiwi.
Yeah, so you'd done the triple.
Because
then the next year, they come do a tour here.
In 2013, they came and did a tour.
Yeah.
The triple was 2011. And then, I was lucky enough to get on, and then did a double flip tail whip at the end of it.
Yeah,
end of that tour, and they're like, what's your schedule look like?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's pretty clear. And they're like, well, keep it clear for the next year. And then, 10 years later,
still doing
just
shows.
on a whirlwind. Well, that was up until COVID.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of when it stopped off. But there's been a bunch of shows since, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, is that when they sort of toned it back to just
Well, they
more
said that
North
we were
America.
we were on tour, and then they sent us all home, and then I don't think anything happened for like 2 years
Yeah,
after
right.
that, year and a half after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely still do all the Australasian stuff, and then all the kind of exotic-y places, which is like
Yeah, cool.
Colombia's and Costa Rica's and
Yeah.
Brazil's. Ooh. It's so cool. I love traveling. Like that's one of my passions.
Yeah.
And I've like been lucky enough to have done or experienced through falling in love with BMX. I never thought in my wildest dreams of being taken so many places around the world. Meet so many different people and be taken in everywhere with open arms. It's a real special world out there. And yeah, it's probably one of the biggest blessings. Falling in love with BMX is the travel.
Yeah. And how did that happen for you? When did you originally fall for BMX?
Well, I had a bike from 6, a mountain bike. And then I think at like 10, maybe, I biked to school.
Yeah.
And I walked home. And then when I got home, I built myself a jump. And I went to go find my bike. I built one on the footpath, like just out of pallets and wood. And I was like, I'm going to send this. Went to look for my bike. I'm like, oh no. So then I boosted back to school and it was gone. I'm like, oh, well, let's get a new one. So I saved up for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah. And then come home with a Diamondback Viper.
Oh, sick.
But otherwise, the bike before was a Ferrano. Mountain bike Ferrano.
Oh, yeah.
Designed and assembled in New Zealand, built in China.
And then I got this Diamondback Viper, and it was everything. I think it was probably like 11 or 12 when I got that.
Yes.
And you'd grown up in Taupō?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Another one of the blessings.
Yeah.
Yeah, being born there.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Small town, it's beautiful. That lake, that energy of waters.
Yeah.
Something special in it. Nice bush.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah.
Lots of opportunity. We're always outside. We were before computer and internet and stuff, so we're always outside making huts and having dirt jump wars and then later on, obviously, falling in love with bikes. Making jumps. And then we got one of the best skate parks in New Zealand in 2000, which was another blessing.
Right at that time we were really getting into it. Boom, you get the best.
And I knew BMX was a sport, but not really. And it wasn't like I learned 360s and I thought I was the only one in the world that could do them.
Yeah.
When I learned it,
Yeah.
I'm the only one that can do this. So this is my trick. And then one day later I got taken to the skate park and I'm like, this is a sport? What the hell? Like people actually do this stuff? Yeah. Otherwise, just a naive, street kid.
Yeah, but would say there's no Google, there's no unless you were lucky enough to have like a magazine in the school library or catch X Games on TV. Yeah. There was no other window into seeing that the sport existed.
Once you get on the bike, and you start jumping and learning tricks, that is so addictive. Yeah, it's so invigorating, and it's just wild to think. Nearly 3 decades later, it's still the same feeling. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And was that letting them I only know it via Mark, but the same again, like dudes digging dirt jumps in the bush, just like some random reserve or some.
Well, the house,
rubbish dump.
The house that we grew up in was the first house in this neighbourhood.
Oh, yeah.
So it was always being subdivided. So
yeah.
It was just always dirt piles and wood lying around that we could borrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, I remember going to X-Air, I think 2002, to watch Tony Hawk.
Yep. And on the vert ramp outside.
Yeah, well, he was in the skate park when I was watching him.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched him for like 5-10 minutes and then kind of got over it. And I walked out into the back room and then there was all the BMXs peeling at the box jump.
Yes, so was that...
That was the inside.
Yeah, and was that the Haro box jump just set up as a box jump?
Yeah, up against the wall.
Yeah, right. And then was it that next year that they had...
Dirt inside.
Well,
no. Next year they had dirt outside. And then the next year dirt was inside.
Yeah, okay.
Because the next year I went back to X-Air after seeing that and I tried to qualify. You couldn't jump the jumps.
Yeah, and that was when they had qualifying it beforehand.
And I tried a backflip, and I'd never done a backflip.
Nice.
Send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the environment that's created in those places, you know.
Yeah.
You're just like, I can do this. I don't know where I am. Chuck my bike away. I landed on my head. Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, you're not making it this year. And then that next year you made XCER, was that when they had the qualifying out in that, they had dirt jumps in Hamilton and they...
Yeah. Langers won it, and that was the first time we ever seen Langers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Langers, eh?
Yeah, it was a shock to everyone. We're like, whoa, who's this guy?
Yeah, right.
What rock's he been under? Because he's good.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was Cambridge just ripping it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the same year that Kelly McGregor did a front flip.
Kelly McGarry.
Kelly
Yeah,
McGregor.
he
Gary.
fronted there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Which was revolutionary.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then that would have been the first time you'd met him as well.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
When he was a BMXer.
Yeah, before he got too tall and decided to go to mountain bikes, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, buzzy. And then you made it that year and went into XCER.
Yeah, I qualified that year. And then the next year I won it.
Yeah, so when...
I won it out of the Kiwis, I should say.
Yeah, so that would have been...
And that was Park.
04.
04 was the year I won.
Yeah, so you were 18, 17,
17,
18.
yeah.
Yeah. And you won that year, out of the
Kiwis, yeah. But I just did one track.
Yeah,
But it was just...
that's all it takes sometimes.
So I had a thought. Then I was like, if I can just do one trick as my specialty,
Yeah.
maybe that's a career. And then it kind of worked out.
What was the trick?
Backflip tail whip.
Hey.
Yeah. But no one was really backflipping or backflip comboing
No.
or tail whipping. So to add them together.
Yeah.
But again, it was those water jumping days, like, having the heckle bench of the older kids in town. Just, do this, Jed. Do this. Do this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So having
I loved it.
Having all that muscle memory and everything ready to go, but
no
do it.
Nowhere to do it. Because that XCER only landed flips on the Thursday. My first flip was landed on the Thursday at Raglan. Because there was a good flyer. The grass flyer.
Yeah.
And my first one I landed and I landed on my feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh sweet. Next one landed and I had them dialed.
Yes.
And then the next day was flipping dirt.
Yeah.
Flipping the box jump.
Yeah.
But it was the first actual flip and it was the Thursday before XCER.
Yeah, crazy progression.
Well, yeah, again, it's muscle memory. I had it dialed.
And then those contests just like
The atmosphere.
bring you to, because was that year you had Dave Mirra, Dave Asado, Nyquist, all the Kiwis, all the Aussies, like it was just like unbelievable turning up and being like, this is in New Zealand, like we've got this.
Yeah, well, the last year XCER happened, it was rated the second biggest park competition in the world, behind X Games.
Yeah, crazy,
Because of the caliber of riders.
Yeah.
And they were all coming down there for like $2,000 first place.
Yeah, they were coming down to party.
Yeah.
That's how
like X Games was like $50K first,
Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't coming here for money. They were coming here because they just loved it. And the guys looked after them. And
off season, which must have worked well for it. It was America's winter, so everybody come over, have a heap of fun, party, ride this big contest. And yeah. And then did you ride all the ones in Wellington as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty gnarly, the dirt jumps by that stage.
Yeah, and started becoming good friends with the international guys. So when we did start traveling to the likes of America and whatnot, they were just like, yeah, come stay with me.
Yeah,
like, oh, yo. And then you're like taken straight into that scene.
Yeah.
So didn't have to work your way into it. We were essentially already in it.
Yeah.
Which was a trip.
Yeah,
going to Riverside.
Yeah, so going staying with Corey and...
Yeah, I stayed with Luke Parslow all the time.
Yeah,
and, all those guys were all in the same area.
Yeah, sick.
But that was still when you'd be nailing it over here in NZ, as you would be able to travel over there, stay with those sort of guys, but you weren't qualifying for the shows yet.
Yeah. So
you're in the scene, but not...
Yeah. So, I left school as a fabricator welder.
Yeah.
And then I worked in that to basically save money to be able to travel. So I worked for 9 months.
Yeah.
And then spend it all in 3 months.
Nice.
Traveling, just living the dream.
Yeah.
And then back to it for 9 months and just on repeat.
Yeah. Did you have to change roles every time, or did you have someone that kept hooking you up with 3-month holidays?
No, they were both works I worked at. Loved what I did.
Oh, well, we'll shout them out. Who were they then?
Well, Reach was the first one, which is rigging, engineering, and crane hire.
Yeah.
It's they were McPhee's crane hire, but then they turned to Reach.
Yeah.
And then the second one was I'm pretty sure it's still MB Century, like Century Resources, the big geothermal drilling company.
Cool.
So all big companies and good people, and always had lots of support. So
Yeah.
that was a blessing, really, actually, because my boss said so. Funny story. The first time I wanted to go traveling, I went to my boss and I said to him, "Oh, I've got to quit. I'm going to Aussie in 2 weeks." And he's like, "Oh, how long are you going for?" I was like, "I'm just going for 2 weeks." And he was like, "Well, why are you quitting?" And I was like, "Oh, because I really want to do it, but I didn't think I could have my job back." And he's like, so tell me, what's this BMX you're going for? And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to compete in this comp and this comp." And he goes, "And so that's what you like to do, is it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love it. It's my passion. It's my life." And he's like, "Oh, what? And you don't want a job when you come back?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Just come back and see me if you want a job. Like, don't do that again. Just tell me when you've got to tell me when you want to go away, and
Yeah.
you're all right. You don't need to quit, Jed." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Is that how it works?
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Well,
And
that'd
then I was there for like 2 or 3 years, and then the next job was just as supportive.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think there's heaps of people, there's heaps of great businesses that do it, whether it's sports people, like volunteer fires, like heaps of things. Is if someone's following their passion and doing something awesome, chances are they're going to actually be a pretty good employee, and worth hanging on to.
And the one phrase he told me, was "You've got a lifetime to learn how to weld, but you don't have much time to do this. So do this whenever you can. I support you."
Yeah,
that's
Like,
cool.
oh, you're true.
awesome. Oh, the legends.
Murray Pelham was his name.
Murray Palin. Shout out Murray.
Muzza.
Muzza.
Muzzer actually was his nickname.
I wanted to say Muzza, but yeah, that's it. Even
Not that I called him Muzzer. That might have been his number plate, maybe. I don't know.
And how about for you, Nick? Did you have to work at all or in between? Well, yeah, you see, so you were at Kinleith Mill.
Yeah. I was, it's a while ago now. I was in the pulp and paper laboratory or testing, doing all the quality testing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I went for that's when they changed the shift work and they employed a bunch more people on the paper mill. And I went for one of those jobs and I was like, I'm young, enthusiastic. I'm going to, they're normally employed from within the company. I was like, and I didn't get one. And it's pretty funny. It's interesting now, funny to look back at, because if I had got one of those jobs, and those were like back in the day getting like 80K a year sort of thing, which was like almost 3 times what I was getting paid. And like, I wouldn't have taken the risk to go riding a dirt bike as trying to do that as a job, as a profession.
Yeah, you'd have got comfortable, eh?
That's right.
Comfortable world would have got you and brought you in. And
if you're like early 20s,
yeah,
talking like 20 something years ago, having 80 grand a year, you're probably not going to give that up to
yeah, that would be the equivalent of almost like
maybe
200K a year or something.
Oh,
now.
for sure.
Just to put it into context for people that don't understand inflation and
like
the minimum wage in 25 years ago, it was like $6 an hour. Or something.
I used to get like 28 grand a year, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then now I come back, you spend like 15 years working, you still think 28 is probably a good. And it's like, you get more than that on the dole.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah. So that was Kinleith, but it was when you, cool. And then you managed to hit it. These XCs seem like they just launched New Zealand. Who came up with the XC?
Mark Wright.
Mark Wright, yeah.
Yeah.
They do home grind and whatnot now.
Yeah. Oh, so that same guy, yeah. So he must be Hamilton based.
Yeah. The office.
That sounds like he needs to be on the podcast.
Yeah, him and Andrew Tuck. Andrew Tuck's quite in charge now, but they're at the Waikato Stadium.
Oh yeah,
at
FMJ.
That's where their office is.
Oh really? Well, they'll know our main KJ because he's we do podcasts. He's the head groundsman there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So here we go. There's an interlinked world.
Didn't you guys say you're from Coromandel, or were in the Coromandel, or?
Yeah. We were over on the Hauraki Plains. Mark was over in Thames on the Combine.
Because I'm pretty sure Mark ran Coro Gold too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was doing because he was into wakeboarding, and so like that's what XS started out as, I believe.
Yeah,
and,
down the river.
Then it was just like took on all the other sports as it got bigger every year. And then took on music as well. And then I guess he realized at one point, like, you know what? When it's windy, those freestyle guys don't ride, on the moto guys. And that cause like all these problems. But the music dudes, they're solid. So then he kind of went down that path. And
yeah, because at the end of it in Wellington, it was like massive. But you'd have dirt jumping on one side of town. They had the opera
festival.
Yeah, the opera theatre, have the vert ramp in it. Then you'd have the skate park. So it must have been crazy to organise where the music was all just in one spot.
That's right.
Gated off.
I guess it must have just been like, all right, this is the future.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because it just suddenly, that was it. There was no XE the next year. Ramps got put in a container and, just didn't. I guess people that knew, but for everybody else, it just suddenly disappeared. But that's back.
Yeah.
And you'd probably know a bit more than that about me, but it was back. Did you guys do the big air for the
last one, yeah.
Yeah, the last one, but not that first one.
Yeah, for both, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I guess that sort of come about through getting on board with Jump Flex.
Yeah.
And how did that happen?
They donated a trampoline to us at one of the charity events we do in Tauranga, Cure Kids.
Yeah.
And then that was to auction off to make money. And then in the signing line, I met the boss and two of his kids, and he just gave me this like 1 minute spiel. Basically, let's meet up. Synergies, what you guys are doing, what we want to do is fully real, and told me a few other bits and pieces. I'm like, did you just hear that, Nick? And I was like, what are you saying? I was like, I'm going to have a coffee with him next week.
Yeah.
And then in the first coffee meeting, we spoke for like 2 hours, and he's like, what do you want to do? And on a napkin, we drew what I wanted to do. And then I came back, and that was my rolling truck we've got now. And then I came back a week later, and they had it all CAD drawn out.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing your truck. Look at your plans. I'm like, wait, so this is real?
Yeah.
And then it kind of just went from there. And then next thing I asked was for a job.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I might as well work here too.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's epic, that truck you've built.
Yeah.
Big truck, and then the roll-in folds out of it, eh?
Hydraulics
out of it, and then obviously inside you got the airbag, kicker, everything in one package.
Just reduced admin, eh?
Yeah, and just
made everything more accessible.
Looks profesh as.
Pro as.
Yeah, rides mean, no doubt.
It's got chromies.
Chromies, you gotta have chromies. Where are the chromies gone? That's what I was asking last year at Field Days. What happened to the chromies?
But yeah, it's really lucky. And then just what we're doing now, I mean, it just goes from strength to strength.
Yeah.
So I think the future of action sports in New Zealand is so bright.
Yes.
Super bright, yeah. Probably one of the best stages we've ever been in since the XAir days.
Yep. And even then, I think like XAir was massive and was mean, but with these sports, as you get an older bunch of riders behind it that keep on pushing it, it just grows from strength to strength.
Yeah.
That it's not just like there's one cool thing. It's like there's all this great stuff happening in the background.
More the merrier, eh?
Yeah, and like you talking about doing the shows, there's different ways to make it now.
Yeah.
You could just be a video guy that releases Instagram clips, or you could ride contests, or you could ride. There's so many more ways to do it now than there ever used to be.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. The world's definitely opening up, eh?
Yeah.
It's got to be present enough, I guess, with all that opening to see the opportunities, eh?
Yeah.
Just be here now and shit, the stuff shows themselves like left, right and centre, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it does. I think people get real stressed out currently in the current world, like the AI, what's coming. Yeah, it's but I think there's such an I say it to so many people, but just being a good person, working hard is just going to be even more valuable than it was 25 years ago. Like when we were all coming up, it was quite normal to come across people with really good attitudes and work ethics and that, so just putting yourself out there for the opportunities and keep saying yes, keep working hard.
Yeah.
I like all you guys, it wasn't, and I think this might be it. I'll say it anyway. as both you dudes to achieve the dream, freestyle motocross, freestyle BMX, but working as a welder, working in the mill. Like, it wasn't just sitting at home waiting for it to happen. Going out there grinding, still trying to live a normal good life, and then grinding, and then the doors open to this sort of fantastical world that you probably couldn't dream of, but that wasn't because you were just sitting at home waiting for the fantastical world to appear. Just going out there and grinding regardless.
Taking inspired actions toward it.
Yeah.
Not really knowing if it was going to get you to where your dream was or not.
But that's right now, that's what I'm doing.
Do?
Hey, I'm saving for this.
And because in the core is because it was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I want to make it because I want to be famous. I want to make it because then I could have fun every day and do what I love every day. Like you say, get paid to go and do it rather than having to pay to go do it.
Yeah.
But you'd have kept on paying to go do it if that was the option. It's like, because it's just fun at the end of the day that you're chasing, is having a good time to do it.
And on the flip side, going to work to save the money became fun.
Yeah, yep. Because you had something.
You had a goal. You knew what you're saving up for, so it was enjoyable going to work. It was like, ooh, and learning in that space, fully engulfing yourself in in the fabricating trade.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
So you got to love what you're doing.
That's an interesting little thing actually you say there, Jebra, is falling in love with a trade like fabricating, knowing, hey, this pays the bills to fulfill the dreams.
Yeah.
I've talked to heaps, and I do it myself over the years, is sometimes you've got to fall in love with work so you can love your weekends rather than loving the work as it is, because...
Yeah. Well, if it's all you got, like, why would you go there and be all mundane, You had, like, all you got is now.
Yeah, 100%.
So if miles and weight the now, freaking amazing.
Absolutely. I think that's... Mark and I stumbled into it first. I got a job selling them, and then I got Mark a job helping build them in the world of sheds. As people just thought they were super boring. Oh, it's just, just sheds. We just fell in love and just worked as hard as we possibly could in this game. And then that's opened up to even more doors. Like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been there if I wasn't just as obsessive as possible. It's like getting back to people, get the quote, just do it. Do the flashings right, build it right, learn everything about it.
Nice.
And enjoying it then's led to even more enjoyment.
Yeah.
I think, good attitude, good work ethic. And then it's often saying no to there's too many opportunities rather than the inverse.
Yeah.
But,
I love seeing welds and stuff, like nerdy, like, here's a mean weld.
Yeah.
That turned out mean. Yeah. It's always finishing stuff off.
Yeah.
Seeing things to completion is always rewarding.
Yeah, having job satisfaction because you actually see it complete at the end of it. Yeah, very cool.
And then off to the skate park for 2 or 3 hours a night.
Yeah, that was probably your other big blessing, eh? Having lights at Taupō was just game changer. So, because what age would you been when Taupō got built?
I was built 2000, and I think I come into the scene 2002, 2003.
Yeah. So, yeah, very cool.
We had a really good scene.
Yeah, such a good scene. Yeah, and do you still ride? Who did you start riding with? And did you guys have an older scene?
Yeah, well, all the guys really. Yeah, they all took us under.
But who was the OGs in Taupō?
Like Ben Edwards, Sam, Chris Fowle.
Yeah, it was Chris. Yeah,
Coombe. And then there were another couple other crews like Keith and Harry.
Yeah,
they were off doing stuff, and then a big wave of grommets come through. That was real strong.
Yeah.
Blamo was in town.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, he's been everywhere, right?
Blamo. Give him a mention.
Yeah, he's still going hard.
I can't believe his passion. No, he's just gone forever.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So to throw it back, because we've got to bounce it. When did you first start? I saw on this one, like photos in a magazine and get on TV, Nick. Like, when did it start? When did that sort of fame or these sort of things start unfolding for you?
Definitely wouldn't call it fame, but it's funny, we were talking about that before we hit play, and it's like that used to be like everything, right? Getting like TV time or magazine,
man.
Whereas like now it's
the Tokoroa Times, get a
South Waikato Times. Oh yeah, man. With freestyle, I guess when I was probably X there again. A lot of stuff's coming back around to X.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s.
And when did they start? When did you see it? Because social media, Facebook came out about 2006. Before that, it was like MySpace, and I'm trying to roughly get it. When did that sort of start coming across? And then like the Red Bull TV, and like how was that promotion engine? Because it was, I might hatch at the story, but some dudes can be like maybe went to Thailand or somewhere and found an energy drink like Red Bull, and then we thought this is the bee's knees. Maybe they were Germans or something, and like, but then instead of, they wanted to market it, and they thought we can associate this marketing with extreme sports, which were just on the like this. But yeah, what was it like being in that marketing machine, and give me more of an insight in that sort of loose story?
I guess that, like, obviously that was before the time, but yeah, Didi Makshitz, he worked at a toothpaste company, and he went over to Thailand and was like, found the original Red Bull and ended up buying into it, and everyone was like telling, it was a pretty cool story, everyone was telling him like, yeah, dude, this market doesn't exist, and he was just like, well, I'll create the market, and you see now it's like the energy drink market's like billions and billions, and so it's pretty cool just to be like, not going to listen to you, I'm gonna create it anyway. But yeah, definitely like the social media thing was interesting, because like when I started, as we said, it was just your results and like how much exposure you were going to get. That's why that's why you get sponsored. Well, why someone will sponsor you is because you're going to run their brand and you're going to get exposure for them. Yeah. And I didn't understand the social media like when it was coming in. So Red Bull did a lot earlier than I ever did, and they started all our pages for us as athletes and pushed you to do it. And I could never really understand why, because I'm like, yeah, but the magazines, like stuck in the old way of thinking. But yeah, I mean, nowadays, as we were saying, now it's like results don't matter as much, and it's just all about like what you're doing online and your presence online, and how you can portray yourself, because a lot of I guess what we've you sort of have people create another character of themselves. That's what's pushed in that atmosphere on those platforms. But yeah, it was definitely like it took me a long time to sort of come about to understand it. That's like, oh, this is the way it's done now. It's not about the magazines and the TV. It's all about what you're putting out there.
Yeah. And then how does it tie in? Talk to about creating the market and how you guys have worked in or done it with like Franklin Farms and then the shows and that sort of thing. Because I think what you said there is just interesting in terms of creating the market, as people often assume that there's just this fixed market for goods or things, but you can often, ideas are funny things. There's often multiple people get them at the same time. Obviously the triple backflip, like there's multiple people, and there's probably somebody in Europe and somewhere else that all were thinking it, and aiming to do it at the same time. How that works, I don't know, but like it is how the unit, like it is this sort of weird idea, the universe and ideas. But yeah, how did you guys, the Franklin Farms and doing their own shows, and working together?
Yeah, I mean the shows were already a thing in Franklin Farm. So Jed named it Franklin Farm. Yep. I think on the Nitro Circus thing, but we were just, that's where we were training, and then it was just like bring the farm to the city sort of thing, and show everyone what you're doing out there in a show environment.
So we're talking like Big Boys Toys would have been maybe the first ones you guys had done together, or were you combining it, and then those Tauranga shows,
Easter shows,
Easter shows,
That's great. Kiwi Summer Expo.
Yep.
Recently Easter show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because Big Boys Toys was pretty much the thing back in the day when I was younger.
Oh, for sure.
And that's you guys. So you both were doing them together at that stage. Yeah, right.
Yeah, been on and off for a while, eh?
Yeah.
We got one coming up at the AMP show.
Yeah, AMP at Claudeland's Event Centre, eh?
We're indoor.
Yeah, suck. How many cows are you gonna jump?
What's it? End of October,
would be
right?
the dream, eh?
Like, we're just fizzing. I was fizzing, and we went and checked done a venue walk this morning.
Yeah.
So,
Man, Claudelands has changed since the last XR.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
This is it coming full circle. We're back where it all started.
Yeah, because a lot of people, I think, that aren't in the sport wouldn't even consider that. Like, when I watched the Easter show, my other brother was there and his kids were there.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the wind and all of that. And they were, like, none of that registered to them that it would be an issue. But so when you go inside, you're not going to have a tailwind, any wind issues, anything like that. It's just way more dialed.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't affect the motorbikes as much unless it's really windy?
Yeah, we bitch about it way more, actually.
No, it seems more...
Because it's more of to catch on and you're going bigger.
I guess you have a bigger surface area. I mean, you got more weight that should keep you straight, but I guess you're going a little bit higher too. But yeah, wind is definitely like the nemesis of freestyle.
Yeah, and when you started doing those shows, were you would have been going to a plywood scaff landing, and did you guys just put those together yourself?
I didn't build them, but yeah, that's.
But you just have like
scaffold companies would come build a scaff and then you just put ply over top.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they'd have some special sort of bars to screw all the ply to.
No, we just take it straight through.
Yeah, right into it.
Through the platforms.
Yeah, no. Oh, right, yeah. So it's just platforms on it and then you can take and screw. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did the airbag come about? Because did it come about for motorbikes first or BMX first?
Both. It was more like the stuntmen stuff, like jumping out of buildings.
Yeah.
And then the snowball wheel caught onto it.
Yep. And they'd use flat bags to start with.
Yeah, and I was probably one of the first persons using them on the triple.
Yeah, yeah.
That was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Free bags come out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did a show once in Spain, maybe 2011, to a landing airbag, and I'm like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
Thought nothing of it, and then a few years later, they started bringing them out, and that's quite
And it would have been around that same timeline for you guys.
Yeah, I'd say in freestyle they've been in there like probably like 7 years. They've been like the main kind of
like people made that transition to go. This is
which is like I did a whole career landing to metal and wood, and when you crash, it sucks. And then right at the end, the airbags come out, and it's kind of like a bittersweet because you're like, man, how many less bones I would have broken if we had these. And now everyone's jumped to them, and you're like, hey, you guys are soft, but at the same time, I'll jump to them too. So I'm like, I probably wouldn't be jumping if it was still to metal and wood.
Yeah, and I think it took a bit of that time where the old school dudes that had to learn the hard way were a bit sour on these new
kids. There was a bit of that, eh?
Yeah, which it's sort of faded away now because
I was like, protect them, man.
Yeah.
Why would you want them to go through what we've been through?
But no.
It's just the caveman mentality. Come on, dudes. Roll in advance. Let's grow up.
Yeah. But there was sort of that, and like you were saying, the first motocrosses with a foam pit, they were protective of it because their money and livelihood came from those tricks.
Oh, fully.
So it was like, I don't want you to come and learn a backflip because then you're cutting my lunch.
For sure. That's exactly it. I mean, a foam pit costs, $50,000 as well to just be like, hey, everyone, I've paid for it, everyone else have a go on it. But it's more just shooting yourself in the foot, right? And that business sense of being like, well, if I'm the only person doing this, like I'm going to get paid good money. If there's 10 people doing it, I'm not going to get paid as good.
And it was like, what, $5+ grand a flip when it was learned?
For like
10?
Oh, when flips first came out, for sure.
Yeah, like you were getting paid that much, you're saying.
Per flip.
Yes.
Sorry, explain that one, just so I jump on that. So you were getting paid per flips on the ship.
So
like if you were a flipper on a dirt bike, it was like, it was probably over 10K for one backflip.
Hearing that, like Nate Adams, so you had the super kick.
And Nick
flip.
was in the top first 5 people in the world.
Maybe not quite, but the long flip, the 75-foot flip, I remember hearing he was getting like $20 US to go over to the state, over to like Europe and do that per night or per show.
Whoa,
20,000, which would be like 30 New Zealand for which is so if it's like one of those things. If you're in early, you get to like really
set the price,
taste that cream. Yeah.
And so they would just say, like you're paying for an activation or paying for an appearance. They'd pay pay you to do.
Yeah.
Back,
I mean,
one
you get,
flip.
You know, you get quite.
It's
you
pretty
get
cool, I
More
suppose.
for doing like those, especially when it's like the latest thing. Like now, still you get more if a show wanted a double flip, you'd get paid, you know, more for that and whatnot. But yeah, definitely if you're in the early, same with like, you know, Sinks on doing the doubles and stuff back on the crusty days.
Yeah.
You get paid real good for it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'll ask it. Where is it the crossover or the difference between stuntmen, like the old school Evel Knievel, I'm going to jump like 20 buses, and like the freestyle motocross? Like, where did it...
Still exactly.
Yeah, but like, where did it come from? Like racing motocross, freestyle motocross, and then stuntman. I was just
Evel Knievel's in a league of his own. There were a couple of guys before him, but he's the one that really made being a stuntman.
But then I guess he was the stuntman. People riding motocross on the weekends, like racing, and then as those bikes got better, there would have been the kids that were like racing's lame and jumped more. Went to the desert, were jumping, you know. So it's sort of as the bikes got better, and then people broke off, because it was the same as BMX
racing. Yeah,
people just raced. There were the kids that were like
tricking.
Yeah, I'm gonna do tricks. Then they'd get booted out of the racetrack because you're not allowed.
Dig some steeper lips.
Yeah, go dig some steeper lips, and then it sort of just would.
They were like the renegades went off and did their own thing.
Yeah, and then like you can only imagine what it must have been like the crusty demons riding in back wherever they were in those sand dunes with a massive VHS camera to film any of it, to be able to put it out, and then the public go, oh, okay, it's not just Evel Knievel. But basically it's still the same. I don't know the dude's name, but the guy that just set the highest Colby on a motorbike in Las Vegas, all set up
with a cape.
Yeah, with a cape. Like, so it's still sort of it's like
it's still real prevalent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, Evel Knievel still like lives on in that sense. Eh?
Yeah, that it's still.
I guess my triples and quads were like that stuntman style jump.
That's what I was just sort of it was coming across when you guys are talking. I was like, oh, there's a real sort of stuntman style heritage to what you're both talking about that's coming, but where did it link in where it went from, I don't know, just the stuntman to freestyle, and how different is it? Or
it's all the same.
It's just sort of tricking was into, you know,
I guess it's out there, our origins.
Yeah.
The stuntman's our origins.
But it's sort of come back.
Yeah, so you reckon the stuntman would be more of the origins of what you guys are doing? Yeah.
I reckon, It's like
that makes sense, actually.
It's all about, you know, expressing yourself and what you believe, and you get an idea and, you know, actioning it.
Yeah.
And then it's no different to action sports.
Yeah, and then also often impressing, you know, just huge, you know, 100,000, but, you know.
Yeah.
Humans are just like, whoa.
Making people go well is a gift.
Yeah.
When you make a crowd of people like, yo, even if it's just a couple of friends, they're like, yo, oh, sure.
I guess it's like back in those like early days of Evel Knievel was just like rip, shit, and bust, right? Like you either make it or you don't. And like you said it earlier, like now it's like it's very well rehearsed, you know, like there's very few people who are just going out and just like, oh, just on a whim try and do this. It's like, you know, it's all kind of fine art now.
If I was like, I want to do a double, there's a way to go. Okay, go try it in a foam pit, go to a Reese landing, or, you know, like
go to the bag and then
go to the bag, go to the Reese, you know, and work your way through.
And the final part of it still looks just as impressive, but it's like being baby stepped the whole way, which is like, you know,
safe.
100%.
The journey's the fun part.
Do you want to go to hospital or?
Maybe make it, just hack it. And where Evel Knievel was much more that of just like sit on your Harley, pin it, and just hope.
Even on some of those ones where you like knew he didn't have the speed, he's like, well, there's like whatever 50,000 people, I'm still going to go for it.
Don't want to lead the fans down.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah, just craziness. And then his kid was the same, just crazy.
But that's like you're saying already. The bikes was like on a more modern motocross bike as opposed to those Harleys with like 3 inches of travel.
But when Robbie jumped to the Grand Canyon, have you guys seen that? He jumps the Grand Canyon. Yeah, but that's it. They didn't even do, like, the run out was a ramp, and then it was just like hay bales, like 3 hay bales, and then just like rutted and just like ridiculous. Like
more focus on the jump than the landing.
yeah, just like, oh, we'll just give it a go. Like,
He's like, if I make it to there, awesome.
and he makes it, and then just like gets so ragdolled into it.
It's the moment he's like, probably should have put some more thought into the whole stopping part.
I didn't think I was going to go that far. But
Should have just run a bulldozer through there once, and he'd have been
Spend
sweet.
10 minutes down this end.
Yeah.
I want to. What have you injured and overcut? Like, what have you broken? Give us a rundown on the list. Like, what prices have you had to pay for all the tricks and all the different things?
rock
We're
and roll?
talking broken, yeah.
Price for rock and roll?
Yeah, what is the price of rock and roll?
The pre-airbag
the
carnage. Yeah, I mean, I know I've done about 30 bones.
Wow.
But you
So
might
you've
break.
so we have one bone for every 2 countries, maybe even almost 3 countries. So
Yeah, something like that. Definitely like a couple of bones. Yeah, for the years of being professional. But you might break like 3 or 4 in one go, so it still only takes like 2 months to heal.
Yeah.
But like we were saying before, it's like that's the standard of like, okay, how messed up have you been is how many bones, but like ligaments and meniscus and nerves takes a lot longer to heal than bones generally do.
yeah,
So yeah, those added to it as well.
concussions.
And the cognitive.
And concussions, right, which is like still fairly well not understood.
Yeah.
Oh. What are you talking about?
What concussions?
No, the concussions are probably the worst on the pedestal.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's ways of managing them, but yeah, it just depends how severe
Yeah.
your cognitive whack is.
Mm.
It's pretty wild to think that you hit your head so hard that puts you out.
Oh, yeah.
Turns you up,
But first time that ever happened to me, I'm like, that's so wild. I hit my head so hard, I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Man, you must have hit it hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've had a few, yeah, it's intense, but I mean, I suppose it's just, what do you guys had to do in recovery, and what would you do now if you could go back? What would you do now when you're trying to recover, and what would you go back if you could tell young Nick or young Jed, and just in terms of recovery from it?
Just keep sending it.
Probably not a lot different.
Not
Like
a lot,
when
no.
you're young, you're just like, how bad an injury is just how long it's going to take you to be riding again.
Yeah.
That's like the basic of like how bad's the injury. Like it's 6 months bad. Like, whoa, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's like it's not really anything.
But
more.
would you actually go and do the exercises, do the physio, strengthen it, or you just like, you're shaking your head, Jed?
Yeah.
You're like, just like, nah, man, just tape it up. It's fine.
Well, seriously, this is the first time I ever got knocked out and broke anything.
Yeah.
I was like 2 weeks away from going overseas. And I said to my mate, I was like, man, I've been lucky. I've never been knocked out and never broken anything. Full let the devil know my plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm there for like 2 months and it's coming up to Jew Tour. And I crash on the last jump on the set and I woke up in the mud, in the dirt, like snoring in the dirt. Because it's like, we softened this jump up. So it was like a resi.
Yeah.
But it was just soft dirt. And then I'm at the bottom of it asleep. And then the boys reckon I was like snoring dirt. And then to like get all of the dirt out of my face. And then I come to and I'm sitting there on a golf cart. And I'm like, look to the side. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got knocked out, eh? Because, when you get knocked out properly, you repeat yourself for probably half an hour.
Yeah.
And then when I looked, I was like, oh, I got knocked out, eh? Oh, I did this trick. And then, I went 360 to Oppo 360A. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, damn it. And then a week and a half, and I separated my shoulder. And then the neck, and then week and a half later, I was riding again. And I was only a couple runs in on the same set. And I overshot the hip straight to my front wheel. Whack, like straight face into the next lip. That was like out for half an hour. I had a seizure.
Yeah.
And then come to sitting on a golf cart. Just like, whoa. A nasty was sitting beside me. And I'm like, whoa. Turned and looked at Luke's car who had mirror tints. And then my whole side of my face was gone. I was like, oh. And then Luke, Corey's like, so you want to go to the hospital now? I'm like, yeah, we better go to the hospital. And then about half a week later, we're at Jew Tour, and I qualified finally after all that. And then it was my last run of qualifying practice, and I crashed and hit my head again. So this is three head hits in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I broke my collarbone. And I went to the medic and I was like, check me out. And they're like, oh, your collarbone's broken. I'm like, no, it's not. They're like, it is, it's sticking out. I'm like, well, can you tape it back on? And then they're like, oh, yeah, sweet as, you'll tape it in. And then I went back up and then dropped in again for like one last run of practice to test it out.
Yeah.
And hit the first step down. I'm like, whoa, most excruciating pain I ever felt. And then had to go down the step down. I'm like, landed and I couldn't pull off there because I couldn't pull up. I just had to hit the first 30 footer. I'm like, landed and then pulled over, went back to the medic. I'm like, it's broken. I'm like, yeah, we told you that. I'm like, okay, I'll listen to you. Yeah, but yeah. And then I just came home and rested.
Yeah.
All the head knocks, if I ever get knocked out, pretty much just sleep. Like the last one, I was out for like 3 minutes, and that took me about 6 months to recover.
Yeah.
I was sleeping for like 15 hours a day. Just sleep.
Yeah.
Grumpy as hell.
Yeah.
It's not nice to close people around you.
Yeah.
You're real short.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a dick, really. But
Yeah.
just cognitively impaired.
Yeah, it is. It's happening. Yeah.
I got a friend in town, Paul Hume. He's a cranial osteopath. And when I remembered him on that accident after like 5 months, he puts your marbles in, I analogize it to. So he literally just touches your head, and I can feel him in there, and I'm like, and then I left that, and I was normal.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there are a lot of good people around.
Yeah.
Just got to know where to go.
Yeah. Yeah, find people with a healing touch. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What works for you?
yeah, what works for you and do it.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I hand it back to you, Mark. I just wanted to talk and introduce it crazy.
It certainly over time became pretty obvious that head injuries were the number one issue. Like you say, especially when you're younger, bones just heal up. Wait till your cast comes off. You didn't really have to do rehab. You just be back into it. Where head knocks were the one that's really changed it. And I mean, obviously motocross riders always worn full faces. And I'd wondered this for a while. On some of the things you've done, you'll wear a full face.
Yeah,
but often you just wear a half normal helmet. What's your thinking
Just
there?
risk assessment. Well, you know, if I'm going harder,
You'll
chuck
put a full face on. Yeah.
I wore a full face for ages after Langer's hit his head, because Langer's hit his head and lost like all his depth perception.
Yeah.
And he is pretty cooked for ages. And I remember talking to him in hospital, and he said to me, he's like, Jed, you need to get rid of your helmet and wear a full face. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And then from that, I just got rid of my helmet, got a full face.
Yeah.
And
because that was probably still the era where we were just wearing skate helmets.
I know.
That were nothing.
No
They were
foam
just
in them.
No foam, plastic, nothing. Just like we basically was as good as wearing no helmet. Yeah, right. Yes, and then you went full face for
a few
some of
years,
it.
yeah.
Like Dirt Dogs, you wore a full face.
All the Nitro. I
All
wore
the
a full face
Nitro,
for ages.
yeah.
And then it just
But
started.
the triple you didn't, did you?
Nah.
No,
So
the
this
jump
was
balls on.
after
Yeah,
triple.
yeah,
And it was one of those shitty Project helmets.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
right.
no
it was
foam.
afterwards.
With
That.
no foam.
Yeah, crazy, eh?
Yeah.
BMX is like you didn't even wear helmets for so long, right?
No.
The street guys.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
now
Some
it's-
guys don't.
It's
but
still they don't. It still blows my mind. You see all these dudes not wearing helmets, and then okay, I can find old photos of me not wearing a helmet, but so many dudes have had bad head injuries since then that you're like, isn't it just put a helmet on?
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's not worth it. You'd be pretty mangled and sore, but if you don't have your mind, you've got nothing. Like, just seems to me like, put your helmet on, kids. Where are you?
Yeah. And everyone's head's different, you know?
Yeah.
We're not all the same.
Yeah, like I've had a few good ones, like knock myself out at Vic Park, wake up in the hospital 7 hours later or whatever.
Crikey.
But was fine.
Yeah.
Was like, no, like, but no, like Paul Langland's when he knocked himself out in Queenstown, he had to learn to walk again and do all of this. Like, it does sort of seem like you can knock yourself out pretty bad.
Yeah.
But a bit of luck of the draw about how shaken up does your brain get.
Yeah.
And they can't see what's going on in there.
No.
Whereas a bone, like, you have an X-ray, you're like, you're healed. Whereas the brain, with all the CTE, like you don't really know how damaged it is or when you're healed.
Yeah, and you don't see it. Like our mate Nate Dog, he knocked himself out at the trails.
Oh, yeah, Nate Dog.
Case jump straight to his head, went to the hospital, and they're like, I think he went to the hospital, and they're like, oh, you've had a concussion, go home. And he went home and watched heaps of YouTube, not realizing, and it just, like, the worst thing you can do is try to concentrate after a head injury, and it fucked him, and he was
really? So that's what cooked him?
Yeah, and it cooked him for like 6 months. But if you'd gone in and had a broken arm, they'd have put a cast on you, and then you go home and people are like, oh, you've broken your arm. We know how to deal with that. I'm not going to whack you on it.
Yeah.
Where head injuries, there's still so much unknown about it, but also that process of what do you do afterwards is so much harder.
Yeah.
But that cooked him. Like,
wow.
That was it for him, and it's like heaps other dudes have rocked themselves, and it's been like that.
They say now, sleep's king.
Yeah.
Shut the eyes, don't let the eyes see anything. Like, that's what
light, everything.
That's what rests your brain.
We used to be like, you can't let people
don't
go to
sleep,
sleep.
don't sleep.
No,
keep them away.
Which it's it becomes so hard. Which is good. At least we know more now than we did then. But it's it is interesting knowing about it and what not. Talking about Nate Dog, the Dirt Dogs. So you did that after the triple.
Yeah,
that was in between. And was that always your dream when you built your container set up at the Franklin farm, was to do the Dirt Dogs and have the roll-in for the...
Well, originally I wanted to make mega ramps.
Yeah, right.
And then I went to Cam White's after one of the shows, and Tilly and I were riding, and we just had the most fun. And I'm like, if that's 40 foot to 35 foot off this hill, imagine what I was like. Imagine what I could do in my tower. So that's why I built a similar jump to what Cam had, but I made it 60 foot.
Yeah, and then that would have been at that same sort of time Dane Searles was doing his mega jumps.
No, he'd passed away by then.
Right, so he'd already done it.
Yeah, so he passed away pretty much after the triple.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like we both were successful, and
I'm
not sure who was first. I think he might have jumped his ones first.
I think so,
Yeah.
Which was epic, seeing that helicopter following him down this line of dirt jumps. Were you there when he jumped those?
Yeah.
And did you jump them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not the whole set.
No, didn't get right.
I jumped the step down, the first 32 foot, and I went to hit the 35, and I never got told to hit it like a spine. I hit it like a jump.
Yeah, pull back.
I hit it like a jump.
No, you
I jumped, and I'm
back.
just like, boom. Seen the landing go, I'm like, oh, damn it. What now? Whoa. Boom. I would have carried on, but I blew my thumb up.
Yeah.
I didn't break it, but probably sprained it severely.
Yeah.
It was like,
oh.
I think I was there the day he flipped it.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah.
Which was pretty elating.
Yeah, and
to
incredible. Like, so big. And before that.
And blasé.
Yeah, right.
Just like, I'm doing this. Like,
and that come across and all that footage was just like, that was what he was meant to be doing.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing, man.
But that sort of that seemed to me like that blew up that like race to go as big as possible on dirt jumps, because there was then you did Dirt Dogs, Paul Anglands did the hills, and the Cobra was doing something.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on going bigger than Dane.
No, just big.
Yeah, just going big. Just going as big as I could. If it turned out to be bigger, then it was bigger.
Yeah, but it was just
the goal was just to go as big as possible. With what we had, speed we had.
Yeah, sick. And that's what then you and Jake Gypsy got it done.
Wow.
He's a character.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he really is. Just like the level of riding, how good he always was.
Yeah,
and then not scared to go big.
Yeah, had balls.
Yeah, yeah.
Or confidence.
Or both.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, good. He had balls.
Yeah. So you did Dirt Dogs and set a few more world records on that as well?
Yeah, it was in between one of the tours. But I applied for the longest 360, the longest front flip and the longest Superman flip.
Yeah, sick.
I pay because you pay for them to get them.
Yeah, right.
It's about $800 a record, and there's been a bunch I hadn't paid for.
Yeah,
But waited the time frame and then had been denied. So I'm like, okay, I just need money to get Guinness record. But yeah, that's the beauty of that jump is every trick on it's a world record because it's the biggest dirt jump in the world.
Yeah. It's the biggest dirt to dirt, whatever
Dirt to
anybody
dirt,
does. Yeah.
But eventually we've still got ideas of turning them into mega ramps
Yeah, right.
because then I can ride.
Like a
Because then I can
mega
ride
as
more.
in ramp and then a bit of airbag landing.
No, just all
go
wood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, probably
Oh,
come
so like-
down the roll into concrete
Yeah.
to a steel wooden takeoff that can slide in and out.
Yeah.
And then over the landing, just put 6x2 runners and then just put probably 21 mil ply over that all the way to the next lip.
Yep.
And then the next lip, have concrete in that flat bottom and have that lip be able to slide in and out.
Yep.
And then same thing, wooden fly the next one.
Yeah, so.
And then I'll be able to ride it more.
Yeah, completely.
So much admin trying to ride
Yeah.
that set. Like there's heaps of days I'm like, I feel like hitting them, but it's going to take me like 2 hours to do them up. Even if they were on covers, it'd be like, but it's like an hour to 1 hour to untap.
Yeah. And then you still got maintenance always to do with wood. You're just away laughing.
Yeah, let's get the blower out, eh?
Yeah, sick.
Get some homies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And then, so I guess that's another question I'd had. Did you ever ride the hills with Paul?
Yeah, I rode it one New Year's with him. It was New Year's Eve, and I decided to go first. I was like, I'll hit it. He goes, yeah, just cruising. I was like, oh yeah. Went down the hill, hit the jump, probably twice as fast as I should have. I probably should have watched Paul first.
Yeah.
hit the jump, again, overshot the whole landing. I'm like, oh no. Threw my bike away, landed, and I was like, so I could feel straight on impact. It's like, damn it, I snapped my ankle.
Oh.
And then I was like sitting there, and the boys like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, my ankle was broken though." They're like, "How do you know?" And I like grabbed it, and I was sitting on my knee like that, grabbed it, and it was just like just floppy. And they're like, "Stop it!" And I was like, "It doesn't hurt, but this is how I know it's broken."
You wanted proof.
Yeah.
And what we're talking, how big was that one? That was
40
where it was
foot.
like a step down, and then just the lip in the paddock to the natural roll of the hill.
Yeah. So that was 40 foot,
Yeah.
and I probably went 60.
Yeah, nice.
That was a fun night in hospital.
Yeah.
And then Paul and I were just in hospital all night.
Yeah, waiting.
Yeah.
And surgery, or they just...
They wanted to keep me there for surgery, but I was like, it's New Year's. Can I come back next week? And I came back a week later and I was in hospital for a week.
Yeah, and they bolted you back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. They just rang the other day actually to ask me if I wanted the steel out. I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You feel it in there, or just...
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd way rather it out than in.
Yeah, right. And but would the bone have not fused to it, or you don't know to get in there?
I don't know.
Sledgehammer and a chisel.
Yeah,
Don't know.
Get the titanium out there, because it's all titanium, eh?
Yeah.
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 Body doesn't.
Recently on the last Nitro tour, I crashed in the last train. I did a triple flip and my front foot fell off and it slipped in between the crank and the frame.
Oh, yeah.
And my back foot cranked it on and
Oh,
jammed
nice.
my foot in there. And I was like, I was on the ground for like 5 minutes trying to get it out. The guys had to like undo my shoe and take it off. And then I could slip my foot out. I could walk on it and I was sweet. And I was sweet for like a month. And then it started getting sore and I went and got x-rays and it was cracked. My leg.
The phone, yeah. Nice.
So you walked around on a broken
For a
leg for a
month.
week.
Yeah,
Oh,
for a month. Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. I thought it was sweet, but then it was just different jobs I'd do, like turning like,
Yeah, just get it
well,
right.
what is that? Yeah, so that wasn't ideal.
But then
Probably should have gone, and I probably should have known from the black the next morning.
Yeah.
My whole leg was black. I'm like,
Just going to ignore
must
that.
be bruising.
Yeah.
But when you do pretty much run everything just through a pain scale of, it's not too sore.
Well, I could walk on it. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's not broken.
Yeah. Well, it turned out it
was
was.
like, yeah,
Just fractured.
Fractured down the middle, yeah.
Yeah, not broken.
Not snapped in half.
Yeah.
Had you always had a high tolerance for pain?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dunno.
Because I think that must be, you talk to different athletes and different things, but obviously in your guys' chosen profession, it must be.
Probably conditioning as well. It's like
Yeah.
welding, like in the beginning you can't pick up a hot bit of steel,
Yeah.
it burns, but then over time you can
You can do more.
you can go hotter and hotter things. I mean, it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's like a chef, I
it's not
suppose.
ideal.
They sit in there grabbing hot pans and doing all these things.
The
Yeah,
kickboxers, kicking.
kicking.
So it's just the conditioning.
Boxers
thing,
with their nut. Yeah, it's just conditioning. I mean, you think that watching rugby or league players, and you're like, man, there's no way I could get hit by that. But if
Yeah.
you were doing it every day and every week, your body gets sort of conditioned to it.
The first best trick you ever learn on BMX is learning how to crash.
Yeah,
That's your first best trick.
yeah,
When you know to get out of something, it's like, sweet, let's go.
Yeah, roll away. But
Yeah,
you grew up playing rugby.
Rugby,
So it was like you knew contact. It wasn't
yeah.
like suddenly falling off was the first time you'd hurt yourself sort of thing. So you
Yeah.
must have conditioned.
Rugby was much easier than BMX. In
Yeah.
terms of contacts.
Yeah, right.
Soft men. Hard men, I should say.
Yeah, but not as hard as the coping.
But
on
not
the
as hard as the
spine.
concrete,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, concrete ain't moving.
No. No. Shit, no.
sickest tricks and that you've either been a part of, Nick, or you've watched other dudes pull off as we sort of
Sickest tricks.
sickest tricks you've pulled off, and then sickest tricks that you've been able to witness and you've been there and seen that happen.
Yeah, I guess whenever you're on like at Red Bull X Fighters and stuff, like everything, Thomas Paget's, some of the stuff he was doing was just out of this world. No one else could recreate it.
Yeah. What was he doing?
Like the bike flips and
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, off a quarter. Just stuff like you just how long you have to work at that to and then just not get minced in the foam pit and break fingers along the way and whatnot. But any of that. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of respect for everybody who's done anything like in all aspects of sports. Just have put the time in to like get to that level is just phenomenal. Myself, probably the body varial because that was scary. Yeah.
Well,
Because you having the foam pit, you'd had quite a few big sessions there early on with motocross. So you must have just been having some sessions where you just see a ton of really cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Also with what Jed does there, in the early days, everything that happens, and it's cool. You just vibe off each other, and anytime someone's, even if they're doing something different to you, you're just like, oh, you've achieved what you wanted to. Now I have to go out there and pull finger.
Yeah.
So it's been epic.
Yeah.
the on the body varial note, I was actually there that day, and I was up top in the top of the hills building my quad foot rolling, and I could see Nick in the pit, like from way away. It's quite high up, and I could see him going, and I could see that he was getting closer. It's like way in the distance.
Yeah.
I could see he's getting closer, and then next minute he's off hitting the jump, and I'm like, no way, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the quad, and it was only him and his dad. And
Yeah.
I boost over, and just as I rolled through the gate and stopped the quad, he did it. I'm like, what? But that's quite wild to like be able to, I don't know, exert those parts of your mind and doing on your own. I'm always like, I need friends. You're just like, I'm doing this. Like, this is what I'm doing. My dad's here. He's got the camera. That's pretty admirable.
So so how would you put your mind into that place to do that sort of stuff, Nick?
It's just the drive, when you're sometimes you're in a place you have all the facilities, you don't have the drive, and sometimes you're the opposite. And when you have that drive and you have that want, and like I just come back from Europe, I was only had like 3 weeks back, and it was like winter, so it was pretty average weather, and it was just like, man, I've come back to learn something gnarly. So you just, it's like you're saying, when you have a time frame on something, you can't, when you've got like forever to do it, you just drag you just drag it out. But when you're like, no, I've only got this short amount of time, you just make it happen, and ride in the misty rain and whatnot, and whatever it takes.
That putting yourself under a time pressure to do things, sometimes it can be a bit much, but generally I think it's so effective. Like that sort of putting a time in front of a goal of just like, hey, I've got to do it by 3 weeks or 3 months.
At the time, it's not fun, but
No,
then like
no.
you know, you see afterwards like I kind of needed that, or else I
Yeah.
just keep on, you know, extending.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just sort of put it off. Oh, I'll get around to it
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'll do it,
Tomorrow,
you know. Yeah.
procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
Especially when you have fear involved, it's so easy to procrastinate. I feel
yeah.
because I can remember those first ever flips before a foam pit, and it's like looking at the scary ass ramp in this ditch, and just being like, man, I don't have to do this. Like I can just.
Yeah.
I guess I must have been working at the time, and I was just like, I can just go put my bike away and just go to work tomorrow and be happy, you know. But it's like, you know, you've got this dream that, you know, if you do that, then you're not going to sleep at all that night. You're just going to be so mad at yourself that you had the opportunity and you didn't, like, you know, there's this dream you've been having for so long, and finally you've built the situation to be able to do it, and so you're just like, you have to push through that fear, which kind of sucks at the time, but it makes it worthwhile on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, so much. And then the more you push through that fear or you do it, the more, you know, you better you get, you more reps. But also when you put the bike away, when you miss the session, you miss the workout, you're like, oh no, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't need to.
Yeah.
That door close, you know, can start closing real quickly. And then, so, you know, like the comfort of life, you know, can envelop you. So, yeah, it's interesting how much that must have played in for you guys, you know, doing that. But it is for all things. It's
in every aspect.
It's always easier to hit snooze. It's always easier not to go out there and hit another run or do another set, you know, like, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it comes down to everything. It's easy to do the dishes tomorrow, and
Yeah.
it's going to make tomorrow harder, but right now make that a little bit easier.
Yeah. That's future Jace's problem. That's future Nick's
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, what can you... And the hardest person to make do anything is yourself. That's something I've been really wrestling with this year, but really thinking is like, it's easy to tell other people what they need to do, and it's easy to tell people what to do. But the person that's the hardest is yourself. It's like, no, you have to get up, Jace. You have to do this.
Control yourself.
That internal battle or struggle. So what shows you know, what's coming up on the agenda? Like, what are you guys working on in terms of this Franklin Farms training? Like, yeah, what's on the current agenda for it? It's been awesome hearing some of these other things, but
Well, Jed's going hard with all this stuff out on the farm. It's training.
Yeah, it's been under development for pretty much most of the year. Been lucky to have quite a few good supporters.
Yeah.
My homie Chris Van Roy, he's what's his company? Bay Electrical.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. Well, I should know that. But he's been staying out there with me doing all the sparky work, because that was one of the first big jobs I needed to get the power lines underground, so we could shift a whole lot of dirt where the power pole was. And then, it's become the dream. Like the other weekend, we actually opened it all up.
yeah.
It worked perfect. There's a few tears that day. You know, young people, well, the youngest to hit it was 9.
Okay.
You know, so that was like one of the goals, is I wanted everyone to be able to hit the mega box.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the bigger mega boxes, or safer mega boxes we've managed to make. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then another mate's son double flipped it. You know, so yeah, it was super rewarding. But yeah, lots of people been involved out there. Alex McCleary from Pro Demolition. Yeah, he's kind of been a silent supporter for a long time. He's an old school BMXer himself, so this is what he wanted growing up. So he loves being involved.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jump Flex helping completely change the game. It's we couldn't be there without them. But yeah, there's lots in the pipeline. We've got a whole bunch of national level events coming up. There's a heap that Nick and I can partner with FMX and BMX.
Yeah.
And we'll probably bring the Surons in, because they've been quite progressional, I guess, in New Zealand. Just a whole different style riding, you know, the electric kind of mountain bikey buzz. But and then we're gonna, that'll be probably an airbag nationals in around January, and then we're doing a dirt jump nationals in Cambridge at another friend's house, and then we've actually got BMX Park Nationals 21st of November in Taupō.
Nice.
And that's the start of like a governing body we've set up called RIDE, which is Riders Initiative Development Entity Incorporated. And the whole goal behind that is just to develop, first and foremost, develop healthy young athletes and facilitate pathways for them to do this type of stuff full time like we had with X-Air, you know, so it's bringing back those types of events. So they've actually got a calendar to gauge or, you know, look forward to and gauge their tricks, because I think that was one of the coolest parts with X-Air was going away from that year and then just going, all right, I'm learning all of this by next year, you know, and then it was like a real mean incentive to go in, and then you come back and then you're meeting all the guys from around the country again, showing them your tricks. So yeah, the goal is really just to set that type of facilitation and then create some good atmospheres. Yeah, you know, because it's in the atmosphere, especially at the farm when we're having a session out there. The atmosphere is phenomenal. Doesn't matter what level anyone's at, you know, if they're just jumping the jump for the first time, or if they're doing a double or triple backflip for the first time. It's the same type of elation, and that's the addictive part about all this. You know, it doesn't matter if you're doing it or you're watching someone do it, or even you know, helping guide them through it with your word. It's a special feeling. So yeah, we're very lucky. And that's all we're going to ride forever.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
And then with incorporating it as well, is that because having the BMX in the Olympics now, but that's not just you're good enough, you get to go to the Olympics. You've got to be able to qualify for your country to go. Yeah. So is that sort of part of the bigger dream to be able to help that? Because like Ali Chu...
Can I just ask, so freestyle BMX is in the Olympics?
Freestyle BMX has been in for the last 2 Olympics, I think.
It's probably the next main goal. Yeah, and that's why we need a national ranking system, so we actually know who's the top. Yeah. And then the next phase will be getting a UCI level skate park. Yeah. So we can actually hold those events and have guys come from around the world, which it's happening really quick. So yeah, next few years or even now, it's just phenomenal. So it's only going to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking to put the skate park.
Tokes.
Not 100%. We're open. Yeah. We're fully open, yeah. Yeah. I mean, central the better for us, selfishly. Yeah.
But and for the country that would work. Yeah. But obviously it's like if there's a council or a company that wanted to come on board with it, that's going to help. Like a Tauranga, it's like, well, we want to be a part of that and do it. That'd be
Hamilton's
well, like, hey, Hamilton, we've got this place, we could do it. Like Cambridge being the cycling sort of hub of the North Island would be a great location to be able to do something like that. So it's having other people come on board to help. Yeah,
it'd be probably a third philanthropist, probably the third business, and then probably a third government. Yeah, when it gets to that level.
Yeah, it makes sense though. But it brings in the people, as we're talking about the surf league that's going on in Raglan or something at the moment, you know. Well, not. Yeah. It's just like it brings in the people, it brings in the punters, it keeps everybody happy, you know, like it's worth it. It's bringing people from around the world. Oh, that's what I was talking about. State of Origin next year's going to be at Eden Park. And like, I'm big league, and that'll be awesome. But I was like, that'll bring in like 10,000 plus Aussies will fly over for that. You know, spend a couple of weeks in the country. The bars will be hammered. You can only imagine, you know, like. And
it's all about bed nights, eh?
Yeah, bed nights
and restaurant nights.
Yeah, restaurant nights and getting it. So yeah, the more reasons that you can get the humans to get out, get off the couch, get away from the comfort of the heat pump. You know, like it's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
And I'd rather ask, what did your parents think about it? It sounds like they've been pretty supportive of it the whole time, Nick, or has it been the case of turning in a farm, you know, just normal farming people into like a...
Yeah, no, it's been, they've been really cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I'm a parent now, so I can understand, you know, growing up when people were like, no, our kids aren't having dirt bikes, and like, I can understand that, but I was, have very generous parents who've been happy enough for it to, you know, it's A, for having their son ride a dirt bike, and B, like, let us do so much stuff out of their farm.
Yeah. Yes, they weren't, you know. Yeah, letting you turn productive paddocks into dirt jump, you know, situations. As most farmers can get pretty picky on a productive paddock, but they're like, no, it's going to be cool. I've got the kids hanging around home. I enjoy the boys and that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sacrifice these 2 acres.
Yeah, well, shout out to them. I think it's pretty awesome, you know. You got to have the land and the support of, you know, somebody to make something like that happen. It's, It's very cool.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And you know, I can understand. You know, I'm a pretty private person, and you know, some days there's like 40 or 50 people up at the farm in their backyard, so I can understand. Like, you know, they can, as you get older, probably not be necessarily ideal, but I think they kind of also like having, you know, their farm is like sort of the place to be.
Yeah.
The freestyle scene,
And
is
they
probably
love
a
the
pretty
cheers.
Cool thing. Yeah,
They love hearing happiness.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
nice.
yeah, like that fills their tank. So
Yeah, that's wicked.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's awesome across the board where you get people that this sort of indulge a slightly different life, like whether they've, I thought of Barry Brickett, they're like potting studios, but you know, like people that'll, like turn it into Franklin Farms and enable that entire scene just because they appreciate the happiness of others and they can sort of give it back. And people do it in all sorts. It's just volunteering, you know, volunteering at the club or doing something, teaching martial arts down at a hall or something, but just giving back to the community, just in the wider sense, is so very cool.
yeah.
Shout out to your parents. That's awesome.
Sure, Dan and Sue. Dan actually is what, 75, 74?
Oh, I think they're born in 49, so yeah.
74, 75.
77.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
76, 77
Crikey.
this year.
So he
77
runs,
this year if they haven't had a birthday.
He runs ultras.
Wicked.
Yeah, that's the
Like
way.
he recently did a 24-hour race.
Damn.
Around, I'm pretty sure it was around a loop track, like running track.
Yeah, we just go for 24 hours.
Oh,
And
that's
he got-
even more of a
and he got
mind
21
like
I know.
And he
thing.
got 21 hours and 138k something. That is mind blowing.
Yeah.
At 75, 76, it's like
Yeah.
that's really inspiring. So
I reckon it is. I find it so inspiring
So
when
inspiring.
I watch. As I watch people getting older, and it's just becoming so evident. You can have an awesome life into your 70s and 80s. Sometimes, you know, bad luck or, you know, shit happens to people, you know, bless. But if you keep if you can stay lean and you keep training and you just keep working and working and accept a little bit of a father time level of performance goes down, like, you know, not quite as strong or you don't recover, but if you just keep doing it, you can be maxing life out. Like, that's it. Hitting ultras at 76 years old, like that's epic, you know, like it's just like, as you say, ride for life, you know, like I think, you know, my favorite's just lifting weights, but I'm like, I would just want to be lifting, you know, and doing it until pretty much the day I die, you know, like it'd be nice to hit some friendly sets with the boys and maybe the grandkid, you know, like at that point and then do it because it keeps you, fit, healthy, great for the mind.
If you don't use it, you lose it, right?
And I just never liked that. Oh, yeah, back in the day, I was really, you know, good, but now I don't do it. It's you're like, nah, just keep pushing through. You know, like it doesn't have to be the glory days, but you can still keep going.
Just keep on going.
Yeah, keep moving forward, keep going. It's been pretty cool. Who do we got to shout out or talk about up and coming? You know, we talked about Jump Flex. Anybody else who got a shout out on the farm that's helped out along the way, or just, you know, give you guys a moment?
Who in New Zealand BMX scene's the ones to really look out for? Like who's riding for Jump Flex, but like I know them, but you know, who's the real up and comers, who's going to carry the torch?
There's a bunch of riders, but I guess the guys at the forefront with all the tricks, they are farm riders, and that's the Pluck Boys.
Yep.
They've kind of been on the scene.
Three of them, eh?
Three of them, Harry, William, and Oscar.
Yeah.
And they've kind of been on the scene for the last 8 years. I guess Harry would have been 7.
God, isn't he? He's only 14 now. Yeah, so that'll be right. Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah. I'm good math, Jed.
Yeah.
And then Riley Nielsen's been with us since he was 9.
Yep. And he's just killing
and
it.
just gone through the roof with style. He actually rode a couple Nitro shows with us last year in Aussie.
Yes,
which was
sweet.
really nice. Like, nice to have another Kiwi on the rolling and have him send it and be successful.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, doing huge front foot bike flips and he'll click a front flip.
Yeah. He's just gone up a level. And then probably Brookie. Brookie's like super passionate from Taupō.
Yeah.
And he's just always digging, always smiling, and getting out in the world as well.
Yep.
Not just staying here. Like the guys that actually get out and about, they seem to progress and advance a bit more than the guys that just stay here.
Yep.
Just because they're getting a bit more worldly, I guess. And,
he's amazing because he's like trail style.
Yeah.
Like so good, but then also big front flips, huge double whips and everything like that.
Yeah.
And
then there's a whole lot of little kids as well now coming through, which is the exciting part. So who knows what's going to happen. Well, I think with these national level events, it's going to give them something solid to look forward to each year, and so then that will kind of be, we're making it legit, so with the parents, it's like, oh, we're actually going into an actual sport. You're not just street kids at the skate park, mucking around on your BMXs.
Yeah, and having it it's in November, on the 21st, there's a big lead up to it. Gives everybody a chance to go ride the park, get your run styled for it. And then, say for you guys, doing well at XEA, it's like, I won the nationals, or whatever is a big deal for these kids then going forward. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then it'd be nice to bring back another international event eventually. But we'll just start small. It's all baby steps, one step at a time. Can't have your plate too full.
No, can't say yes to too many things.
We've got to keep shutting where it's about opening a tab and then shutting it when it's complete. As soon as you open too many tabs, it's like
definitely
frizzing out. There's too much information on my computer.
There's also an ability with the New Zealand shows, and I think now is, probably was back in the day, but even more so now, is it can be considered an elite event. You can show it off with the socials and it can do it, it can be a big deal. We can do it now. So I just see it in the fight game as they have this King in the Ring in Auckland, the boxing events, and ever since Israel Adesanya and then Colin Solberg, they've won it. But these are legitimate, you talk to anyone in the world in the fight that loves the fight game and they're like, oh yeah, I know of the King of the Ring, and so there's no reason you guys couldn't create that level of event here in New Zealand, it can still be an international one, but Kiwis are so well renowned in the ability to film it and then share it around the world. It's pretty special. Pretty special what we can do in New Zealand now.
We punch high.
Man,
for our numbers.
We do awesome. I was actually going to ask you with Nick, you were sort of going to say something earlier, but it's traveling the world so much and then coming back to New Zealand and seeing what made it special for Kiwis, and the difference between Kiwis and probably the rest of the world, because we're all just used to it. We're all Kiwis here, we all grew up in here. But what did you notice was the difference to the, from the 7 billion other humans out there comparative to the 5 million Kiwis that there are here?
I mean, you see we got it pretty good here in New Zealand.
We do.
I think
we have it awesome.
You always hear people moaning about things, but you're like, it's go to India and see what they've got going on over there, and it's like, man, we got a pretty sweet, or so many different places around the world you could point to. But we're New Zealand was so far away from everywhere, which when you're trying to get into a sport, I don't think just getting your foot in the door overseas is quite a big achievement from little old New Zealand, and so many different sports. It's pretty difficult, but it's also part of the beauty, right? That we're so far away from everyone. It's kind of not necessarily a bad thing, but we're lucky here, that's for sure, compared to most places, and it's such a beautiful place. So different from here in Waikato down to Otago ways. It's you have so much beauty in a fairly small space between. Compared to USA or something.
Golden sandy beaches, from where we are, you could go hit the black sand, you can hit mountains, you can hit lakes, oceans,
one day,
river,
right?
All in one day, all within a couple of hours, really. One of the things I've thought and noticed when I've traveled is how lucky we are. Is it's competitive on things, but it's not that competitive. And if you want to get ahead in New Zealand, how would I say it? I've been some time in Japan and Korea. is it so controlled by corporations or things that's so much, what school did you go to? What primary, high school, university? How do you get into there? Whereas if you want to create something for yourself in New Zealand, often you can just sort of follow the normal path, go to school, be a trader or something, but you can go and start your own business.
Yeah.
You know, like you can go and start your own business and do your thing. You can go and start and be a farmer. You know, like you might have to walk it up. Obviously, there's cost, but within reason, you can go, hey, I want to do that. And you can choose your own life. If you're a good person working hard,
Yeah.
and you want to give it a shot, you can pretty much have your choice of it and go, hey, I want to be this or do this. And then people will support you into it and not go, hey, no, you've never been you're not from farming family.
Yeah,
You're not a tradie, you know, you're not you can't do this. Is instead of like, oh yeah, if you're keen and you got a good attitude,
Yeah.
let's see how we can help you out.
No, you're spot on there. Like my sister, she lives in Germany, and she started her own company with like on computers, which I don't know the first thing about, but it's like over there's so much red tape. You can't really start. You need to employ someone to start your company for you. You know, whereas in New Zealand, it's like an hour on the internet, and you've got a company. You know, just like how much more simple it is. Like you say, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And and also just how. I know we've got like a lot of space here. You know, some places are just so packed in. And like here, you know, it's not very far to go to like an amazing waterfall, and there's going to be like 5 other people there.
Yeah.
You know, just such cool scenery we have here and space to.
Yeah, and it's like
to be.
It's sort of a negative, like when you're like you want to go to America to ride BMX. We're so far away, but because we're so far away, we're so shielded from the rest of the world. All the turmoil that's going on in other countries, we're just fine down here as our little thing.
Yeah,
which you really appreciate when you're like, well, especially having kids and stuff, you're like that side of life. You're like, oh well, we're safe. Yeah. We don't have to worry about anything. It's like just makes it so much nicer.
Yeah. When you're trying to get out and achieve this crazy goal of being a freestyle bike rider, it's not so easy.
No.
But like there's in car driving and motocross, man, dudes from New Zealand like punching above their weight, and it just goes even more how like much harder it is just to get outside, just to get there.
That's a question I'd had for a bit, because I know if you're going to go overseas with your BMX, you just put it into a bag and take it. How do you do it with a motorbike?
Oh, so you have to get a bike. So that's like part of it can be dodgy because you get a bike over there.
Yeah, so it's not I want my bike.
So I ride KTMs, so they source your bike over there.
Yeah.
So the team I rode for in Europe, they'd have extra bikes that you'd send around in a container with all the ramps and everything.
Yeah.
And that generally was like the bikes we rode the year before. So it had a few more hours on them, but still good bikes.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes you'll turn up overseas and that the bike they've got, not so more back in the day, there's like a flogged out bike and you're like, so you bring your suspension, you bring any parts that you've got, made personally for you, like your suspension, your harder suspension or your, lowered seat or your handlebars. Yeah. So you bring those, which is already like a hassle because towards the end of my career, flying off suspension was like, you'd get like all the time.
That's more than 200 mils in there.
Oh yeah, you like they just wouldn't want to send it. So you have to come up with ways to get it around. But and then you'd get someone, you got this like blown out bike, and you're like, if this dies on me, I'm gonna be like
die
in a wheelchair. And so you sort of, it's like the risk you take. Sometimes you get a brand new bike, sometimes not. It's all part of the fun of it. Or like we did a show in Bolivia.
Yeah.
At the time, so Bolivia is like the poorest country in South America, but it's amazing. Yeah. It's like crazy high altitude. Like I think La Paz is like 2,000 or 3,000 meters high. It's like maybe the highest city. I'm not sure on that, but beautiful, beautiful place. And we couldn't get 2-stroke motocross bikes, 2-stroke 250s, so we had to ride 4-stroke 250s, which is like way down on power. And it's like every 1,000 meters of altitude you go up, you lose 10% of your horsepower. Yeah. So you're riding this bike that's already got like 20% less horsepower, and you're riding it like 3,000 meters, so it's down like another 30% lower in the horsepower, and it's just, but still amazing trip. But the riding part of it was scary as hell.
Yeah.
But that's what you'd sort of, you just go to places sometimes not really knowing what you're in for.
Yeah, right.
If they're going to have you like a brand new bike or that's this.
Yeah.
And how did that trip come about with Like, how would you end up in Bolivia and live at? Like,
that particular one was a Red Bull X Fighters. So when they were doing the Red Bull X Fighters tour, they'd have the way Red Bull does it. They'd have like all these little, these preview tours, sort of like on all these new fresh countries, and so you'd be the first people to ever be doing backflips or jumping a dirt bike, pretty much in some of these countries. But it was pretty special, that's for sure.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Yeah, it must have been so epic for you guys, but it must have been epic for the people to just suddenly have Red Bull just drop, So
they do like,
X-Fighters.
they do these big activations. You have like the trolley derby they'd do, and it was just like one of the activations that country that year would decide to do. And and when it was rad for us, because you get to go to this country that you'd never go on holiday there, kind of thing, or very few people do. And but you get to go there and experience it, and experience a different culture and just a different way of life, and
food.
Different food is mega. Like in Spain, like the different, like when you're in South America, like I just was under the idea that we have all the fruit that's available. We have it here in New Zealand, and you go to countries and you're like half you've never seen that. You have no idea what it's called. We don't have it here, and it's just these little things like that you realize, like, oh, okay, like little old New Zealand. You're secluded from the world. Just like such different dishes and and just the different ways people live. It's just we're just so lucky here that most people have you have a backyard, and it's safe to go out in the street at any time.
Oh yeah, right. That poverty, and you don't want to take it away, but like, unless you've got serious mental health issues or something, you can pretty much should be able to have a house in New Zealand, you should be able to get food, like all of these sort of things. Like if you put it out there, someone's going to hook you up with, food, clothes, everything. Whereas, that you just can't take that for granted overseas. Like,
no, that's right. I mean, I guess people will always find, I'm probably included, will always find a reason to complain. Like, we're all human, but it's we've got it bloody good over here, I think.
I think we do. I just asked the question, and part of has been doing this is just to remind Kiwis of how awesome it is. Because I think when I grew up, well, we're all roughly, the same, close enough in age, but you grew up in the 80s, 90s, and that, and it was like pretty known that New Zealand was epic, and people would talk about it all the time. Like it'd be on the news, and people were like, "New Zealand's awesome," like. And then it just sort of, I honestly think about 2019, it was still like, hey, we're all being friends. It's pretty good. There's always going to be an argument. It's the last 5 years or so, people have just been running it down like we're living in some sort of ghetto squalor and we're so broke and everybody's having this terrible life. And you're like, that's not the case at all. It can always be better. But that's it. You can always jump higher. You can always jump longer, like you can always build something cooler.
It's like,
but let's not take away from how good it actually still is.
Yeah, looking at it as half full, right?
It's just going, actually, no, I reckon our glass is like 3/4 almost full in New Zealand, and we're just getting too worried about a little bit of froth or it,
It's probably our greatest gift, I reckon, in this life is being born in this country.
100%. Like, there's no way.
So lucky.
I think that if you were to just take any of our lives and you were to just say, hey, just average, slightly different scenarios, pretty similar. If you were to drop us in Korea, India, Japan, Bolivia or something, we would just be doing whatever our freaking father, if we were lucky enough to have one, was doing. It's like, oh, okay. Would have been like, I don't know, a truck driver or something. I don't know Mason. Like you wouldn't leave the town and you'd just be so much more constrained.
We've had field. Hoeing the field.
Hoeing the field. Exactly. You could have just been hoeing the field, doing these things. It's just so much more opportunity to be like, hey, I can do this. I can get the teachers did their best with probably all of us to get some sort of education through our thick skulls, but, go out, get work, do things, and then just have different opportunities and different cool things. And, man, I think we owe it to just the luck of being born in New Zealand, and then all of the good people, whether it's parents, grandparents, great-grandparents that have built this cool country, on the basis that everyone should get a shot.
Clean air, clean water.
Clean air, man. I couldn't get over that. And people were like, why is it so cloudy? And I'm like, it's not cloudy. It's just fucking smog. These kids never get to see the stars. They never get to see the sun. Like it's just thick, industrial, dystopian fog, like all the time. You're just like,
cool.
No, it's not cool. And you're just like, that's normal for billions of humans.
Yeah.
You
that's
know,
right.
like we're just like, so I check out, you guys are the same down the farm. I'm like, whoa, 6 stars
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah,
like,
that's right.
just admire everything.
Yeah.
You can taste if somebody's having a fire like 5k away. Someone's burning wet wood. Anything else that we want to cover it off?
I don't know. I mean, there's always heaps more stuff to talk about, but we sort of covered a lot of the
So that was good yarn.
good yarns. Yeah, and like so, how do people find out more about
That's them.
your New Zealand BMX Association?
Ridebmx.co.nz.
Yep, jump on there and they can become a member.
Become a member.
You got to be a member to be able to ride in the nationals.
Yes.
Are you
yep.
doing an over 42?
Are you a member, Mark? Is Mark
We're
a
just
member?
doing
Is there a masters category for
Yeah.
Mark?
Well, eventually we'll just get this first year up and running, and get.
It's got to be a year older than you. That'd be my preferred. I'd still be against Cal Kessler.
jump in with the kids for now.
Yeah, that's it. Eh?
Yeah, next holidays we're going to be running a flight path development camp at the Franklin Farm. So there's normally 10 spaces available for young kids
Cool.
to ride with Ellie Chu and I.
Yep. And how do they find out about that?
Oh, I'll just put it out on my socials.
Yep.
Yeah, on my Instagram predominantly. It's what I've normally been using.
Yep.
And then the boys will share it. But it'd be nice to share the space with her because she's Kiwi's. She's the world's actually best big air
Working.
Yeah, she's number
specialist.
Who's this? Talk this.
Ellie Chu.
Ellie Chu. Yeah.
known her since she was like 14. Done Nitro together, Freestyle Kings together, and she's just in a league of her own. But yeah, we're going to be, I guess, mentoring and coaching,
Like
facilitating. I don't know, maybe the next Olympic hopefuls.
Yeah.
At the Franklin Farm next school holidays, so that's exciting. But other than that, we're just chipping away. I'm pretty much going to be working on that farm all year with the plans we've got. So that's exciting. And what do you got going on? You just living your dream in Tauranga.
Yeah. I'm just doing the family thing, really.
Yeah.
But the farm's always like open for people to come and learn to flip in a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If people want to follow along or see the exploits in Nick Franklin, where would they go to?
Oh no, Nick Franklin doesn't get into that very much these days.
Yeah.
You got to get the socials games back on track, but so haven't been doing any of that for the last like 7 or 8 years. But just keep an eye on what Jed's doing. If I do anything,
Nick will be in my
decent, I'll just be in his.
Yeah.
The Claudelands event centre.
Yeah.
On the show.
Oh, yeah. It's
October.
an AMP show.
End of October.
Yes, that's going to be wicked because it's local for us, Jump Flex is a Hamilton-based company, so there'll be lots of support.
Yeah, man.
Very nice for us to show off what we do because that's what we like.
Yeah, well, it'd be cool to have send Mark along as a ShedLife podcaster, film a video, of it. So that'd be awesome,
I'm sure Mark will be down.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend, Spa Park Jam.
Oh, yeah, Spa Park Jam. How could I forget that?
Yeah, we are. We'll be there.
Talking about living in the now.
Yeah.
Spa Park Jam's going to be sick this weekend. It's probably, one of New Zealand's premier events on the calendar.
It's probably
eh?
now. At the moment, it's pretty much the biggest one there is.
Yeah. Well,
Which is cool.
I guess Taupō just always had that atmosphere, right? It's quite central.
It's always had a few of you dudes that are keen to get it done. Central, but get it done. Like, it's, if you weren't putting on the Jedi Jams back in the day, we wouldn't have, we would have been going to ride, but you put it on and the people will come. Certainly works in New Zealand BMX. If somebody's willing to organise it, the rest of the guys are usually willing to get in behind it and do it.
Yeah.
But that one's been building up to be a pretty big event every year.
Yeah, and Taupō are really supportive of stuff and youth and Taupō, so
it's
hence
awesome.
those things.
That's actually a quick story. How did your parents end up in Taupō? Because they're not originally from Taupō, right?
Did I tell you that? Did I tell you how?
Yeah. You told me ages ago.
Oh, well. So I was conceived in Aussie, and then my mum and dad were like, we need to go back to New Zealand to have this baby. And my dad threw
What, they didn't want you born as an Aussie, or they
they were just like, no, we've got to get back to have Jed as, a Kiwi. And they threw a map at the dart of New Zealand that landed bullseye on Taupō.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was how Taupō got it, eh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I remember you telling me that years ago.
cool.
I was just like, that's such a buzzy story.
Wow. Oh, good memory.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Aussie, and then end up Taupō.
Yeah.
And that's all history from then.
Yeah.
And then the other question I did have for you is, how did you get the nickname The Warrior? I think I know, but I'm not sure.
One day we were water jumping into the water, and it was off a wedge ramp. It wasn't a kicker.
Yeah.
And I was just hucking it, landing on my head, just landing on my back, upside down. And I think eventually I got it round. And one of the guys was like, "Man, you're a warrior."
Yeah, right,
And then it stuck.
Yeah.
I was probably like 14.
Yeah, work it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was because the first time I remember hearing it all the time was Brian. Brian,
the bastard.
The bastard. Brian Ancelotti. And we made that big banner at X here in Wellington.
Yeah.
With the Warrior. And I was like, oh, was it him that made it? Oh, no. Yeah.
I've spoken to him a bit over the years.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
Funny fellow.
Yeah. Lives back in America.
Yeah. Just, he was a full-on little character.
110 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Plus.
All the time.
Yeah.
He was one of the dudes where you talk about how you have self-preservation.
No.
He didn't.
None.
He
not
had
not in
none.
his voice, not in his tone.
Not how he
But he'd
rode.
turn up to your mum's house, and man, the mothers just loved him.
Yeah.
Then he'd turn up with see what you didn't have at your house, and then he'd turn up with a new toaster, new cutlery, and like just buying things for your mum, and you're like, oh, this is how you're getting in there.
Well, that's how I met you through him, because I'm employed. Well, we're doing in Whakatane, we're doing Summercross.
Yeah.
And I was like, here's the BMXer on you, and they're like, oh, I want BMXing. So I was like, hey, dude, can you come and like do BMXing? And then I turn up and Jed's there.
Yeah, right.
And he wasn't.
Yeah.
That's how the BMX world works, I later learnt.
Yeah. Well, it's how, the bastard went. He was a loose unit.
But no, we appreciate you guys having us on.
Yeah, it's
Been
awesome.
Fun
Yeah,
talks.
thanks so
You
much.
guys got it good going on here.
Yeah.
Shed life.
Shed life, it's the best life, that's it. It's all where it begins, hanging out in sheds
100%.
and having a good time.
100%.
Yeah, I think we did say at the start, but I've always that everyone's welcome in the shed. And
cool.
I say it, but it's the truth of it is like you guys probably get on the farm. It's like not everyone's welcome in every situation or room, but whether it's like a changing shed, the wool shed, the work shed, or just hang out in the back of the garage, like parents might not want all those dodgy boys in the house, like, but you're like always welcome in the shed. And so, it's just sort of having that, being able to just have a chat with dudes and have it in the shed. It's awesome. No, I appreciate you guys. It was awesome just to meet you, Nick, meet you, Jed, and hear the stories. It was really cool. And via Mark, obviously, this world's been a big part of his life. And then I've just been on the observation. I've done like the Wellington X here, and a few of these is just watching it unfold.
Awesome.
So, it's just cool to be able to be, just a little part of it and see, just see how reflective, honestly, it is. It's just good dudes doing it, like it doesn't matter whether it's the freestyle, motocross, BMX, or all these other things. It's just the common theme of just being a good bro is what sets it apart and makes it happen. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.